Welcome to your full moon eclipse reading. I am your tarot counselor, SajTheSage. I am really excited to be doing this. This is one of my first YouTube videos. You can check out my socials and website in the description box below. But today I will be pulling from a few of my favorite decks to do a full moon reading for the eclipse that we're having in tropical Scorpio. I will be pulling the cards. As you see the cards come out, of course, use your discernment, take what resonates, leave the rest. If you would like to book a personal reading, you will be able to do that with the links in the description box as well. All right, so let's get started. I am first going to take a check-in with the collective energy, just because with this full moon also being with an eclipse, I know that this is going to be a lot more intense for people. I think that when we have eclipses, a lot of quantum leaps can happen, timeline jumping, blasts from the past, opportunities to change, your entire future is on the table. So I think that it's intense, especially with a full moon. And with it being an emotionally intense sign like Scorpio, I know that people are definitely going to be feeling it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Wow. That's pretty heavy for the overall energy. So we have Covenant, Sacred Contract, and at the bottom of the deck, Straddling Worlds, Wandering the Realms. So this is pretty intense. The reason why I say that is when it comes to sacred contracts, a lot of the time we're speaking about things that were established either within spirit before you got here or within past lives, ancestrally, things like that. With it being a full moon in Scorpio, I'm not as surprised, but it's still going to be intense in regards to realizing that a lot of the decisions that you're making is going to not dictate, but literally propel you into totally different realities for a lot of us, especially when it comes to a time like this, where we do have a full moon, where a lot of people are releasing things are coming to light. The decisions that you make or the actions that you choose to take within this time period can definitely literally shape and have a full butterfly effect in regards to how things continue to play out for you. So especially around this time, you guys may be reviewing relationships, taking a look at different plans or initiatives that you've had or plan to have within this full year, and really seeing whether it's going to be fully worth stepping into that realm of reality or taking a leap of faith into a new one. Because right now with the straddling worlds, it does suggest that there is a little bit of feeling like you're in the in-between. It may be a lot of clearing out or kind of just self-reflection, but essentially that in-between phase is definitely more so allowing you to stay centered within your own being so that you can truly reflect on the contracts that you have already made. Out here. It's about to be a struggle to pick up these cards with these nails, y'all. Okay, got it. Oh, Skybridge, possibility for union. Okay, there definitely is relationship contracts being looked at. especially for those of you in committed relationships or relationships where, you know, it could be work related, friendship related, but essentially people that you've been with or been dealing with for a while, and you feel like you have that soul mate connection, that soul tribe connection. There's definitely, I would say there may be some, not ultimatums, but some decisions being made around that. There can be either some reconciliations happening, or essentially people just trying to solidify or further strengthen the bonds that they've established previously, if that makes sense. In a way, especially when it comes to having the contracts here, it suggests that there may be a level of wanting to make things a little bit more official, wanting to come together in a real way. So that can be a good or a bad thing. It just depends on the realm of reality in which you want to exist. I know that for some people, we have to be real with ourselves of, okay, if I were to enter into this dynamic with this person, I would essentially be in their energetic field. Is their energetic field in their realm of reality something that's actually congruent with mine? Or would I feel like a fish out of water and totally out of was truly aligned? Let's see if there's any more messages for the overall energy for this full moon eclipse. Benefactor, grace and generosity. That's beautiful. Oh, the universe is your partner. Oh, this is co-creation time. Don't we love it? Okay, guys. So listen, it's definitely a time to reflect and figure out what is truly in alignment, what is truly resonating with you. Within the hand, the universe is your partner. This speaks about a heavy co-creation energy happening with you in the universe. Essentially, decisions that you make are literally causing ripple effects and synchronicities almost immediately. This is the process to where, let's say, you say, okay, yeah, you know, I want to, you know, move in with you, and then suddenly, you know, you're driving to work, you've been going the same route, and then now you see, oh, this place is, you know, this house is for sale, or this apartment complex is taking in new rentals, let me go check it out. It's that type of energy to where the decisions that you're making in regards to the contracts that you want to keep or break or re-examine, or maybe renegotiate, those, once you come to that conclusion, it's literally going to start co-creating for you guys instantly. Now, with benefactor, grace and generosity being at the bottom of the deck here, at the root of in the hand, it does suggest that it's really important to have grace within this process. It's going to be important to really truly think about you and all your flaws as well, to where it's like, okay, let me be real about, okay, have I ever been in any similar positions as some of the parties involved? In those situations, did I handle it in a similar way or a similar fashion, or in a way that where I can have some level of understanding and extend that grace to them? Things like that. So when you're doing that reflection and thinking about different renegotiations or taking things more serious, either with a partner or with certain business endeavors or collaborations and things like that, whatever it is that you're co-creating at this time, you're going to have to at least have the wherewithal to be self-aware about, okay, what is truly treating someone how I would want to be treated, essentially. So that's really good energy for the overall. I'm not going to lie. I'm rocking with it. Okay. So let's take a look at what is hidden with this full moon eclipse energy. About what is hidden. This full moon eclipse energy. Oh, I have a needle intentionality. We love to see it. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so with this being an oracle deck, I'm using my shamanic oracle deck. I don't normally read it reversed, but because this is a collective reading, I think that considering what the reversal may look like is important. Just because everybody has free will, we can't control, you know, everybody's outcome. So when we have Lay of the Land, Ancestral Wisdom coming out in reverse, with Eye of the Needle, Intentionality being at the root of it, it's speaking about truly being connected to the vision of your legacy and your bloodline. Truly seeing who you are genetically and understanding why exactly you have the skill sets, the gifts, the behavior patterns, or the contracts, or the, you know, the connections, whatever it is that you do have, and why is it's important to truly be intentional about how you engage with that. And really, it's about getting down to the truth of the matter. Like, what is the true essence of me? What is the purpose around these different collaborations and things like that that are coming around, and how is it that I can truly act from a place of intention, not just going with the flow in that process, not just seeing how things go and hoping for the best. If you know, if this thing sticks around and this and that. No, intentionally investing in something that you know is going to impact you for generations, or at least for your current lifetime, have an impact on the alchemical process that you came here to do. When it comes to ancestral wisdom, it's talking about the unfolding of your own DNA and the activation of it, and realizing why certain things are within you and why certain things or certain obstacles and things like that have come into your path in the first place. So if you're not clear on the truth behind that, if you're not clear on the purpose behind that, then it is going to be a lot more difficult for you to, you know, have more clarity when it comes to the different things you want to co-create. It's going to be harder for you to create a structure or boundary, or to set something in stone around it. If you're not, you know, sure within yourself about what it is that you actually want at the ends of it, meaning like whatever it is you're co-creating with, if you're more so like, oh, I just want to have a good time with it, it can, if that is the end all be go, if the end all be all in regards to, okay, I want to collaborate with this person, I want it to be fun, I want it to have fun and things of that nature, then you really need to see like, okay, what about this, and what about this process is within my birthright. You know how they say like some people, they maybe have spent lifetimes in service to others or doing other things, and they may be in this lifetime to truly enjoy things and have new experiences because their ancestors were not able to. That is the level of truly understanding why you're doing something that you guys need to reach. It's, well, not even need to, excuse me, I'm being a little bit speaking with a lot of conviction. You guys can reach whatever level you want to. What I'm saying is that when when you are taking those moments, for example, let's say you're resting and you're trying to intentionally rest. There's a difference from, okay, I'm intentionally resting because I did 4 hours of work. I know that if I keep going on for another 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to be dead tired and not do everything I need to do for my self-care tonight. So I'm going to take an hour or 30 minutes to rest or whatever, to recharge and get myself back in the flow, so that I'm not going to be burnt out by the end of the night and I can still take care of myself. That is different from if you are in the middle of working, you've been working for 4 hours, and then now you just lollygagging, you bored, you trying to distract yourself with social media, calling people, texting people to excite your mind, and just being aimless about that rest period. And then, oh wow, an hour went by, let me get back to work, and you're still in that your nervous system really didn't recharge or anything. You're still in that, okay, let me hurry up and get back, and you're pretty much going back into that same cycle. There's a difference between doing certain things, whether even if the most mundane things like going out and having fun with your friends, it's different about doing that intentionally and then doing it just aimlessly. So when we talk about lay of land and what it could look like in a reversal, it could be to where your ancestors have blessed you and specifically picked you for certain gifts, for certain outcomes, or for certain circumstances and connections within the family. And then if you are choosing not to be intentional with it, it's like you're not even fully tapping in to the full potential. You may be semi still experiencing those same things, but the contract may be wonky. You may be entering into repeated cycles instead of actually breaking free or doing that full alchemical process that you're here to do, the whole purpose of you being born. Obviously, not, let me not say that everybody's here to have a full transformation. Some people, they may have multiple lifetimes that they're here and they don't plan on changing and things of that nature. No judgment on that. All I'm saying is that a lot of us, when we are coming from different realms, different states of existence, and we come into this realm, we are having an alchemical process, a spiritual alchemical process. So, you want to, especially when we're dealing with portals, with the eclipse season and things like that, you want to be intentional about, okay, this is my birthright, and this is why I'm doing certain things. And this is why I'm engaging with this person. This is why I'm collaborating with this person. This is why I'm taking on this contract or clearing this karmic debt, or cosmic debt. I didn't know. Okay. But anyway, I'm about to say, I don't know who got cosmic debt, but this is why I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm getting into this relationship, because, I know that this is fulfilling, a key part of my bloodline. This is going to help me be a greater lover, a greater mother, a greater father, that type of thing. This is why I'm intentionally choosing this specific contract. You know what I mean? So let's see if there's any additional messages about what is hidden for this eclipse. What was adaptability? I like that. Perfect storm, the courage to step into life. Okay, now with perfect storm, there may be a little bit of a tower moment that happens. So let's go ahead and pull some traditional tarot about that. With perfect storm, though, it really does speak about the prime time to act. Meaning that things may come together in such a way to where it's like, at this point, there's no better time than now. When we have Woodwives adaptability at the bottom of the deck, it is definitely speaking about your ability to be mutable. With with Scorpio being a fixed sign, that may be the perfect storm as to why it's showing up like this in the hidden position. Because with the Scorpio energy, and that's and Scorpio's a totally fixed sign. They have Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius in the mix too. There's not to say they're not extremists, but there's a specific point that has to be made when it comes to a fixed sign. And if it's not made, it seems useless, pointless, like it's not fulfilling its purpose. So with perfect storm, you're really being presented with an opportunity to where, okay, I may have to surrender a bit to circumstances, allow serendipity to play out, allow for the element of surprise to happen. Things may change. I may not know what to expect, but because all of the elements are here, basically like, okay, come on, the weather's good, I just got paid, I just got my hair done. Everything is lined up for me to have a good Cinco de Mayo. You know what I'm saying? Which is when the full moon is. So essentially it's like, if it's, you may not know what the party's gonna look like when you get there. You may not know, you know, if it's gonna be good vibes, good food, or whatever. You don't have those elements in your awareness, and that, you know, that element of unknown, especially for more of our fixed signs, can lead you to be a little bit like, oh, do I really want to go? Who all gonna be there? Oh, you know, let me look at their Instagram, let me be sure they had good parties before or whatever, that type of thing. It's time to kind of release that. You know what I'm saying? It's saying like, okay, look, I have to be intentional. I set my intention. I'm fully clear on what the assignment is, what my birthright is. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? I'm intentional about what I'm doing. And then if the elements play out, then so be it. Especially when we talk about this contract thing. Listen, if a tower moment happens, if it plays out to where someone, let's say they want to reevaluate the relationship, they want to, you know, end the relationship, or they may want to get more serious in a relationship, or let's say you're collaborating with someone and they're like, hey, you know what, I don't really want to do this anymore, I have too much on my plate. Or, okay, look, you know, I didn't think I had the money that I thought I was gonna have, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to reevaluating and looking at those contracts in detail, it's going to be, look, these are all of the elements that's taking place right now, and I'm not gonna go against the actual seasons. I'm not gonna go against what's happening here. I'm not going to try to make it snow and it's been raining and sunny in springtime. You know what I mean? It's not about trying to force something that's not naturally how it's supposed to be. The natural elements are going to be taking play, especially around this evaluation of, okay, how is it that I want to move forward with XYZ? Because, you know, I'm seeing that there's more possibilities for me opening up and da-da-da-da-da. I'm co-creating at a faster rate, that type of thing. It's more so about, okay, look, I'm going to strike while the iron is hot, essentially. So even when it comes to the contract, if you know and you're clear on your attention, you know, vocalize it, be clear, speak your mind. But if it turns out that all of the elements come into play to where something doesn't work out, or all the elements come into play where something does, actually go forward with that. Take the chance and be adaptable. And so I think that that's actually really good energy for a full moon. Now, obviously, if in regards to contract provisions and things like that, with the perfect storm, it could be a tower moment. Like I said, it could be something that shows up. Matter of fact, let me actually ask the tarot. Let's clarify this perfect storm. What could that look like for the collective? Okay. All right. We have the World card coming out, Strength in reverse. Ooh. King of Swords and Ten of Swords. Okay, so there's definitely, this perfect storm may come in by way of communication. But with the World card here, it does suggest that not to say it was meant to be, but it's more so about the cycle. You know what I'm saying? It's more about the specific cycle that's happening and playing out, and either closing or beginning. Well, really, if something's beginning or closing, you know, you get both either way. You know what I'm saying? So if something's beginning, something's closing. If something's closing, something's beginning. So with the Ten of Swords here being in reverse, it does suggest that there may have been some level of betrayal, oppression, just wrongdoing in general, just where someone, not to say had malicious intent, but they definitely caused harm. There was literal harm caused. I do think that this might be in the form of a specific conversation. It may be a conversation had with a more masculine, maybe the more masculine party. We got the Emperor here too. Oh yeah, so maybe the more masculine or the more yang counterpart within the dynamic. There may be something said, or maybe even a specific mindset that they have, or some way of doing things that speaks to how they actually conceptualize things, that caused the perfect storm. Either brought a level of awareness like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this with this person. I already see how they talk to people. I see how they act. I see how they handle conflict or whatever it is. I'm not going to do it because I'm releasing, you see this Ten of Swords is in reverse. I'm releasing this intentional harm and the fucking suppression, oppression, trauma, drama. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to that. I'm not dealing with that. Especially with the world upright, that cycle will be opened and closed very easily. We have the Strength in reverse though. I do think that this may come maybe while someone's in a place of a really vulnerable space, maybe feeling like, okay, I'm being kicked while I'm down, or where they may not have as much faith, or I don't know. It could just be to where it's like, okay, I'm not really able to stand on my own, if that makes sense. Like I actually do need support, if that makes sense. And that may have added insult to injury, if that makes sense. That may have added, if there were harsh words or careless things said, or or enforced within the relationship dynamic at the time, or the collaboration dynamic at the time, then that could just really kind of be the nail in the coffin to close things out. So that is some clarity about the perfect storm. All right, what is the best course of action for the collective? For this full eclipse, best course of action. Are we done, I think? Gather around, proud of community. Detox, repairing the mind, body, and spirit is at the top. I love that. Okay, cool. Definitely a time for us to chill out, recharge, not take ourselves so seriously, a little bit of getting over ourselves, especially if you were coming from that King of Swords energy, that maybe you may have been too cold, disconnected, emotionally shut off, or just way too logical in moments that could have used a little bit more intuition or compassion or grace and generosity and that type of thing. It's definitely time to kind of just take a break. With Detox, it does suggest that there may be like some subconscious rewiring or reworking that can happen as well during this time. But when we have gather around, power of community at the root of it, it does suggest that you will have a support system within this process. So even if that means that you might need to, after you do some self-reflection, you might want to vent to your loved ones, or go ahead and speak to whoever is the other co-collaborators in these new contracts and these different things that you're underway with. you will have the support from them, especially if they're within resonance. However, you do need to just do that self-reflection first. I think that by truly just getting into your own energy, like I was saying when it came to when for the root energy of the sacred covenant, when it comes to kind of like getting back to the core of yourself, so you know exactly what you want to do with these contracts and you know, these different realms that you're kind of in between, and you're feeling like, okay, I'm at a point, a high possibility point, or a high potential energy point, and I really want to harness this energy and direct it intentionally in the right direction. A detox and focusing on what's going on within you and what's going on internally is really going to do wonders, so that you can make the right decision in that process. Let's see, do we want some advice? I'm looking, I'm thinking here. Do I want it from the Native American Oracle deck? This is one of my favorites. I like this deck too because it also gives projected timelines for certain cards. So what's the advice for the collective for this full moon eclipse energy? What is the advice for the collective? Dream catcher at the bottom. I love it. It talks about the interweaving of everything. It's really pretty. Oh, 8. This is my first time getting this card. Oh, it's so cool. Let's go ahead and read it. Let's look at it. It looks like a little penguin. Oh, let me put this up so that you guys can see it as well. Okay, let's look. Oh, woodpecker. Opportunity. Woodpecker taps, taps, taps to find nourishing tidbits. As he sounds out his environment looking for treasures, he reminds us that opportunities are everywhere, even where there seems to be no hope, such as dead trees. Woodpecker is steadfast in his determination. He is also loud from the taps that echo through an otherwise quiet wood to his loud and distinct call. With Woodpecker, spirit is speaking loudly to you, and you are encouraged to listen. Solutions to some of your most challenging problems are available if you listen. The crystal emphasizes clarity and focus. Don't give up after initial failure. Listen for guidance, stay focused, and maintain your determination. Keywords here are opportunity, perseverance, certainty, truth. Failures are not really, failures that are really lessons. Trying many times, finding treasures in unlikely places. For the timeline, it says July, the month of long days. Okay, so this is really interesting. I like this. I like this, especially with the Dreamcatcher at the bottom too, and Woodpecker. I like this energy. The reason why is because essentially it's saying that, especially when we talk about the different possibilities that you guys have here for union that came out initially in the overall energy, that you guys really have to be open to, like I said, the perfect storm, that element of surprise. You really don't know what is going to be behind what is going to unfold after you make certain decisions. I understand that, yes, it may feel like a lot, like, okay, I know that if I choose to cut this thing off, or if I choose to get serious with this person, or if I choose to you know, sign up and collaborate with this business, that things are going to look different for me for the next however many months, even obviously with it saying like July, maybe up until July, or, you know, going as I enter the summertime, things are going to look so much more different for me. Understanding that with that possibility, you still have to be willing to take a step back. Don't assume, don't think that, okay, this doesn't, you know, even when it comes to, let's say, for the me talks mentality, where, okay, I've experienced this before, this is how it's happened for me before, da 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 da, this is how it's going to happen this time around. It's not time for that. The reason why you are first centering within yourself and kind of clearing that out is so that you can have a clean slate when you do make these new decisions, when you do go ahead and start knocking at the door of the new opportunity that you choose to take. I feel like, especially with the dream catcher at the bottom, it is speaking about the fact that things are intricately connected. Everything is happening for a reason. It's not just by happenstance that these opportunities and these things are opening up for you. So definitely have faith in the process, and also be clear about it. If you have to ask more questions, ask, especially when it comes to Sacred Covenant. Really, with Sacred Covenant, it talks about putting everything out on the table. In the Shamanic Oracle deck, in the actual booklet, you have to put everything out on the table when it comes to these contracts. Now, some people, obviously, they do their business dealings differently. They may not disclose everything. But if you want to go into something good faith, then yeah, you would want that person to show you everything, and for you to show them everything. So at this point, it isn't going to be about, okay, you know, I'm just not going to, I'm just going to let indecision be my decision, if that makes sense. I'm not going to ask if some certain things or certain aspects of the energetic exchange could be amended or added or whatever, modified or whatever. I'm not going to do that. If this is what they're presenting me, if that's all they have, then I'm just going to say yes or no, and that's it. That's not really what this is about. This is about truly getting clear about what you want to co-create and doing it in a way to realize that everything is intricately connected. Had you not been 10 minutes late for that meeting or whatever, then you wouldn't have got there as soon as you saw so-and-so walking down the hallway, and you and so-and-so y'all meet, and then now y'all friends, and da-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That you have to realize that things are happening for a reason, and you have to show up and be engaged in that process, and you have to be clear and like, okay, this is totally me. This is me and my center. This is not me with all of my outside programming and all of my additional opinions from whoever and however. You know what I'm saying? Definitely have that moment to where you're clearing and you're repairing your mind, body, and spirit, and then you'll be able to come into fold with the new decision with a lot more confidence. Okay. So that was for the collective. I am going to do the elements next. I thought about doing all signs, but I got a message from Spirit that's saying that I ain't ready. Not that I ain't ready, but the way I wanted to do it was have different videos for each sign. And as you can see, this is like my first tarot YouTube video. I might need to slow my roll. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So which element do I want to do first? Taurus season. But it is full moon in Scorpio. So I think it should be on the beach. Either water or earth. Let us see. And while we're taking a brief intermission, I would like to appreciate Trey, the illest nail tech in Atlanta. My nails look gorgeous. Thank you so much, MotherMage. We appreciate you for all of your artistic expertise. You have me out here looking gorgeous. This is a beautiful hand. I could be a hand model. Okay, let's get serious. You know what? I just thought about it. I think Trey is a Scorpio. You know what? Water, let's go first. Come on, water signs. Let's see what's going on. What's going on with my water signs? I want to see what I want to do first. Which deck do I want to use? I'm going to start off with the Shamanic Oracle deck, but I will be switching it up for sure. So I'm going to start with the water signs. This is going to be relevant to your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus signs. Connect the specific messages for the overall energy for my water signs. Oh, Jesus. Ooh. Interesting. Stranger curiosity. And this perfect storm at the bottom. Okay. So with stranger curiosity, it talks about embracing the unknown, but it does speak about there could be an element of genuinely being open to gaining new acquaintances, being open to new people coming into your life and curious about them, getting to know them, figuring out, you know, obviously I don't believe in coincidences at all, but figuring out what is the reason that me and this person truly cross paths. That perfect storm for my water signs, the perfect storm moment that you guys may be encountering may be coming into the form of another person. And they may just have, you know, there just may be elements about them that you aren't normally interacting with, or you wouldn't normally think that this is the type of person who you would get along with or have a lot in common with, or you never thought that, or you may have seen this person multiple times but you never thought that y'all would be cool, that type of thing. Water signs, you can definitely expect that your perfect storm or your quantum time colliding moment can come in the form of another person. You ready? Okay. Oh, we have the Sun card. And we have the World. For overall energy as well. Okay, so definitely time for you guys to step into the light. Step into your power. Sorry guys, I have things on my desk falling over. I've had to organize a whole contraption to have this beautiful setup here. But, okay. There is, I want to say ascension process happening, but there is a stepping into my power happening for my water signs. It seems like you may have gone through a period where you weren't as open, you weren't as expressive about, you know, whatever it is that you're passionate about, or the project that you're working on, or the different things that you have going on. And that seems like the cycle is closing. It could be influenced by the different people coming into your life and kind of reigniting those interests by either you sharing things about yourself and them sharing things about themselves. You're like, oh yeah, I do love to do that. This is what I do. This is da 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 da. That type of feel. But essentially it's coming because you're in this cycle where you're not supposed to be in the spotlight, but essentially you're coming into a level of success and recognition, and it's time for you to go ahead and embrace that. It's not going to be time for you to, you know, want to keep your circle small and to yourself and things of that nature. It is going to be time for you to go ahead and connect with people. Let's get some... one more message to clarify. Overall energy. The 10 of Wands was flipped over. It's in the reverse. So you guys may have been in a period of grinding or hustling, or, you know, just working your ass off, or only focused on work and your responsibilities, and now you get time for some creativity as well. Let me see. I like when cards pop out. Really, they either pop out or the deck will just stop wanting to shuffle. Let me see. I don't know. I think I might have spoken up. That was a little suspicious. What we got here? Have the Page of Wands, King of Swords. That's interesting. That may be relevant. Oh, I think it is. Okay, so because the King of Swords did come up in the collective energy, for you water signs, this is definitely another person. It could have been someone who is, it could be an air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but it could just be, it's someone who is coming to you expressing or wanting to initiate some level of passion project, or expressing their passions or their desire for you, or their desire to like get to know you, work with you, that type of thing. Now we have Hermit. Oh, 7 Eclipse. Yeah, so especially for all of you guys who think that it's for the water signs, if you think that you're going into a hermit phase or trying to kind of like stay out of the loop or anything like that, that's an illusion. That is an emotional, distraction, essentially. It's gonna just make you feel comfortable, but it's not actually what is being asked of you. Oh, here we go with the Tower moments. Oh, with the Ace of Wands. Okay, so this is good. I feel, well, this is, I'm not saying the Tower energy is good, but either an ending sparks you to initiate or to kind of like slow down on something that you were initiating. Let's get a little bit more about this Ace of Wands. There may have been something that you guys desired that with the Tower moment you just no longer do. It's not as relevant. Okay, we have the Ten of Swords. Ooh, may have been some betrayals. And we have a Three of Swords in reverse. So, okay, that is interesting. So that King of Swords energy, that every time that pops out, it does seem to be like attached to the Tower some way, somehow. So there could have been maybe a conversation or something that came to light, or maybe like the true intentions or motives, let's say, behind something was kind of brought to light for you guys, water signs, and it's causing you to put a pause on something and to wrap it up, essentially. It was something that caused you guys a lot of hurt. It was something that may have been re-traumatizing for you, or triggering for you emotionally, and it's just not something that's worthwhile. Any other messages? I want to know a little bit more about the Sun. Let me get some clarity about the Sun here for the overall energy for my water signs. Got the Death card. Oh, we got the Chariot and the Death. This is interesting. It's like something that you choose not to move forward with brings about a rebirth, if that makes sense. This is interesting. Some clarity here. What is this about? Wheel of Fortune. 3 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. Ooh. Okay, there was something that was making you emotionally happy. Like there may have been a certain energetic, there may have been like a certain dynamic or routine or like friend group or like that type of thing. There may have been I'm really seeing friend group, honestly, but it could also have been a particular partnership that kind of came with like its own workings, like its own like unique energetic dynamic. Like, okay, you know, it's me and you in this relationship, but you know, the third thing is like this project that we work on, or this you know, this event that we do together or whatever. Whatever it was bringing you emotional fulfillment. However, it was lacking in regards to the physical, not necessarily finances, but the actual either skills, resources, tangibles, like the actual like physical manifestation of what was needed, that was lacking. The emotional, maybe the inspiration was there, or the emotional support was there, or whatever. But when it came to like follow through, or, you know, having the money to back it up, or whatever it is, it was falling apart. And so therefore, by not moving forward with that, we have the Wheel of Fortune at the root of the situation, meaning that either that potentially frees up money for you, or it just puts more money or resources or energy back into you, so that therefore you can actually have this rebirth in this full sun moment, to where you're stepping into, you know, your success and your recognition, and feeling energized and powered up for the things that you have going on. This revitalization that you're dealing with here. Okay. Is there any more messages for the overall energy for water signs? Okay. Woo! For the overall energy. Yeah. Horn cactus, resourcefulness. Yeah, this is definitely one of those, if you can't be used, then you're useless type of energy. When we talk about horn cactus, it's talking about truly being able to leverage all of the things that you have at your disposal for whatever alchemical process you have going on. With jeweled web and connectivity being at the bottom, it's similar to like the dream catcher energy. Things are intricately interconnected. Let's say you're trying to make something or whatever, you only have a part of the ingredients or whatever. By you being creative and working with the part of ingredients that you have, it may open your mind up to another possibility, like, okay, I may not be able to do this particular type of sauce, but I'm able to do this type of sauce, and it's similar and it gives the same impact. And so therefore I do have that resources, and I'm fulfilling the objective that I set out to do. So the overall energy, especially for the water signs right now, is to use everything at your disposal. Don't leave anything on the table. When it comes to this transformational period that we're definitely going to be entering in, it may be a tower moment that happens, or it could be some level of upheaval, or something that's coming up for you emotionally, or energetically, psychologically, that type of thing. You will have the resources at your disposal. It's going to be up to you to use it. And when it comes to those energetic dynamics where maybe, you know, someone or isn't pulling their weight in regards to the resources and the support that's needed, then therefore that's all you need to know of whether or not this is something to hit the death process with. As well. Okay, I think that's pretty much. Do we want to get some clarity for horn cactus? We can. Oh, God. Come on now. I'm going too quick, God. The Tower Moon again. Okay, we have the Tower. Ooh, Two of Cups, Lord. Okay. Oh, Lord, the Horn Cactus. The clarity for it. What popped out was the Tower and the Two of Cups. What do you think that means? It's everybody that reads tarot. You already know what that means. Essentially, from dissolving a relationship, you guys are learning to be more resourceful, or because you don't have a specific relationship that may have been a source of, let's just say, some level of emotional completion, some level of, feeling whole and satisfied. Because that dissolved, that has turned you into being a lot more, having more tenacity. That has allowed you to really start to leverage the different things that you have around you in order to start to make things go in your favor regardless, if that makes sense. Let's say, you may have lost a specific relationship. This was a partner of yours and y'all were both paying rent together. Y'all break up. And so now you are now getting really creative about how you're going to be able to pay the rent by yourself. And this is allowing you to collaborate with more people and be open to more people that you normally would not have, because now you have to be a little bit more tenacious. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. And then when we have the Ace of Pentacles here, it does suggest that there is going to be some either new opportunity or new financial windfall or new, level of income coming in because of this moment. Meaning that because of the resourcefulness that you're going to have to tap into, you're going to be able to start some new or engage in some new financial opportunity that's going to at least help you in the physical, if that makes sense. So, we know how it goes. I do have to say for my water signs, as a fellow water sign, I too encounter those situations where sometimes it seems like a loss in relationships or in connections or family or things like that just shifts you into another gear. I think maybe because with water signs, we are heavily influenced by our emotions. And because money and your emotional state are so intricately connected spiritually, when we just think about that flow of currency, it seems as though it's like we have to tap into another layer or another level of ourselves. And it's like, okay, you think you can't get water out the desert, but oh baby, it rains. The cactus does indeed have I think they have sap or juice, whatever. So that's interesting. Okay. Let's get it. Let's see what is going on. What is hidden for the water signs with this full moon eclipse? What is hidden for my water signs? Right now, what is hidden for water signs? Rising and Venus signs with this full moon eclipse? Oh God, that intention. Oh, Jesus. All right, water signs. This is getting real. So we have winter's dream, gestation period. In regards to what's hidden at the bottom of, we're talking about eye of the needle, intentionality. When it comes to this gestation period, winter's dream, with that coming out into reverse, I'm taking that as in it's definitely time for the water signs to come out of their burrows. It's time for you guys to come out of hiding. It's time for you guys to get out of hibernation and step into the flow. I think that there is a level of being intentional about it, to where it's not like you're just looking and seeking for to get in where you fit in. It's really about saying, okay, I took this time to rest, to restore. I took some losses and things like that, but what am I going to do when I do step out again? What am I going to do when I step into that sun? And I want it to actually have a sacred and divine attention attached to it. I don't want to just do it just for the sake of it. So that's definitely interesting. And then we have the crossing initiation at the bottom of that. Okay. Tell us a little bit more about this. What is hidden for the water signs? What's that? Deep diver diving into late times. I love that. Beloved, radical acceptance. Okay. So, water signs is definitely, some of you may be having a hard time with coming to terms with it, but it is going to be a heavy study, and not study, but it's going to be a heavy due diligence type of time, where you're going to have to be focused heavily on the task at hand. When it comes to being intentional, and when you're coming out of hibernation, you're doing things that you once did, or that you have been putting on hold and things like that, you want to, when you do get back into it, you want to actually show and reflect the growth and development and the healing and restoration that you went through within that winter's period. It might, I think that this radical acceptance thing, because it does talk about a level of shadow work, there may be some level of you to where, like, okay, certain aspects I'm a little bit rusty, or I'm getting a little bit restless. I've been doing XYZ, and I'm just coming out of my resting period, and I feel like it's overwhelming me and things of that nature. When it comes to that type of energy, you have to realize that, yes, it's going to be natural for you to have those moments to where it's like, okay, I have to, let's just say my recovery period may be different right now, or my tolerance for certain things may not be where it used to be right now, because I was resting and I was doing certain things. It's time to kind of accept that, because as long as you stay focused and you dive deep into what it is that you're supposed to do, then you are going to be able to have this moment where you do have your success and that recognition for your creative power. Let's go ahead and get some traditional tarot to build on that, especially because what's hidden water signs, I feel like this is very surface level. I feel like let's dive a little bit deeper and see what's going on. I mean, the Two of Cups in the Tower moment was very telling. We have the Page of Wands coming out in reverse. I wonder why that is. Why is this Page of Wands in reverse? You guys may have been impulsive about the different things you wanted to take on, and you had to slow it down a bit. Three o'clock. Oh my God, Lord Jesus. Oh, Lord. What the fuck? I just didn't know we was going to be going into that right now. Child, this is the ghetto. Okay, this could be a couple of different things for a few people. Okay, for those of you who have tried to take initiative or start something that you were passionate about, or that you were really going to get in your creative bag with, you may have had to slow it down because you may have gone a little bit too far in regards to hanging out, indulging, kind of celebrating, enjoying, like things that are just bringing like emotional fulfillment. It's temporary emotional fulfillment, but it's more like, okay, I get to celebrate with my friend for this and that, and it feels good, and I'm happy that I have those memories and stuff like that. You may have gone a little bit too far in that, and it caused you to not be able to keep your word, or let people down, or maybe overcompensate or overpromise, that type of thing. For others, there may have been, especially with this being a fire energy, this could be a fire sign, or an air sign, just because we did get the King of Swords as well. But with this Page of Wands coming in reverse, it could just be to where there was a removal, or like someone, either you or someone else, became disinterested due to, I don't want to say third-party activity. It could be third-party activity, but either them being, having their eggs in multiple baskets, that type of thing. And that betrayal and that deceit kind of pushed you into a bit of a resting in rehabilitation situation. And so what that does is it makes, especially when we talk about being intentional when you're coming out of it, you may be pushed to kind of work or be overzealous about it, when you could just, pace yourself and come into acceptance that, okay, I may have a little bit of emotional regulation to do while I'm starting on these projects. I may have a little bit of, I may have to take some time to myself and, be sad for a little bit in the middle of doing certain things that's important for these projects and things like that. But it's a part of you working through whatever it is that caused like this disillusion of the relationship dynamic, if that makes sense, for that Two of Cups and Tower moment that we have here for the overall. So very interesting to say the least, right? All right, so Lord have mercy. Anything else that's hidden that we wanted to talk about for the water signs? I mean, come on. Let's see this. Oh, Nine of Swords, Lord, and the Empress. Okay. Child. The overthinking, the emotional dysregulation, maybe having a little bit of some mental health moments, a little bit of a breakdown every now and again, to where you may be feeling anxious, overwhelmed, things like that. This is a lot of energy bubbling under the surface, water signs. Seriously. Seriously. And you would not know that really with the overall energy. That is interesting. The stranger curiosity. I'm almost curious if this is how you're showing up, water signs. If you're showing up almost as a stranger to people. If people are almost like, something's different. I don't know what it is, but something is different and I feel it about water signs and can't quite put my finger on it, but suddenly they're just way more resourceful, way more reliable, or, you know, let's say maybe they're not, or whatever it is, you know, whatever it is that's different about them, or they're, you know, more focused on their recognition or their achievements or whatever it is. And it may be striking some curiosity, like, okay, what's going on? How you been doing? Da, 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 da. But you definitely have a lot underneath the surface. With the Empress here, it does suggest that you're definitely, I mean, at the root of it, you're definitely strong. You're still showing up as a leader. You're still showing up as a pillar in your tribe or your community or the people that you know, that relies on you or cares about you. But you are mentally overwhelmed, and there is some level of acceptance that you have to take, that you have to step into, either in regards to what you can't control, or acceptance in regards to, like, you know, holding yourself accountable. Like, okay, this is the type of person that I am, or I may have overpromised, I may have underdelivered, or da 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 da, but I'm still getting out of my restoration process, and I'm going to still show up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be intentional now. I'm going to make sure that I'm more specific about what I can and cannot do. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to make sure that I show up. You know what I mean? Because that Empress energy is really good. You know, especially because it does indicate a level of abundance and prosperity as well. Okay. I'm trying to see if I have a good, we might need a little bit of advice for the shadow side. Any words of wisdom about what is hidden for my water signs? Anything that they could utilize? Ten of Cups. Okay. We got the Ace of Pentacles again. Definitely either the financial or career or whatever it is, that opportunity is going to be is going to bring you to that Ten of Cups, if that makes sense. You're going to be able to be back into that feeling of wholeness and fully satisfied by actually focusing on the initial steps it takes, or this initiative that you're getting involved in, to make this opportunity, you know, be something that you can gain recognition from or have a sense of success. So that's interesting. Okay. Okay, so what is the best course of action for our water signs to be most aligned with the highest good with this full moon eclipse energy? What is the best course of action for my water signs? Oh, wow. Contract. Woo! Lord have mercy. Why is this in the best course of action? This is such an interesting thing. Preparations come to fruition. Water signs, you're definitely in that beginning phases of taking initial steps. The intention and what you put out there is what you're going to get back with the net caster. The type of net you cast is the type of fish you get. The type of bait you use attracts certain type of fish. So you need to be aware of that, especially with the covenant here. It does suggest that there was a level of karmic contracting that has happened, like maybe in regards to whatever this tower moment, it may have been a karmic contract where it was meant for you to examine this contract, end it, revise it, whatever, start a new one or whatever it is. And what that is allowing you to do is be a lot more specific and a lot more intentional about the type of bait that you use and the type of method that you're going about to manifest things. Grow its own self. Oh, I have the eagle rising above the fray. Yes, water signs. This is getting better, baby. Okay, and additionally, for your best course of action, we have Eyes of the Eagle rising above the fray. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Root Girl, Disowned Self. Root Girl, Disowned Self is really, really good for a card. It basically talks about how the ugliest parts of you are actually the parts of you that help you grow, that help you be connected with the full microcosm that we exist in. Those itty gritty parts of you that are triggered and sparked by others and all those things, that is what connects you to the full paradigm that you're participating in, if that makes sense. It's while these aspects may be shadowy, while you may have seen your subconscious or your unconscious show up in ways that you could be ashamed of or not pleased with, or felt like you may have dropped the ball somewhere down the line and this and that. That's not what this is about. That seeing that part of yourself wasn't for you to further ostracize yourself. It was for you to have that radical acceptance and say, okay, this is a part of me. This is a part of how I get down. This is how I show up in certain contracts and certain dynamics. And then now you have the Eye of the Eagle, which is very similar to the Eye of the Needle for intentionality. But now you have the Eye of the Eagle to see above the bullshit. Now you can see certain bullshit coming a mile away that maybe at one point you did not. Any other words of advice? I want to use, let's use the natives. Ancestral deck. Here's some advice around water signs, sun, rising, and Venus signs. There's some words of advice for water signs, sun, rising, and or Venus signs. This is different. We got a feather and a... Okay, let me start putting this stuff up. And the snake, which I'm really feeling right now. Okay. So we have the feather for advice. Communication. Feathers are an important part of the Native American rituals. Feathers are tied to poles, which are placed in fields or mountain peaks and create a rustling noise. The voice of the gods. They represent prayer, both the active speaking aspect as well as the passive listening aspect. Feathers are also signs of respect and honor and are considered gifts from spirit. Receiving one, whether from your people as a sign of achievement or a gift found along your path, brings with it responsibilities. Feathers are to be treated as any other sacred symbol. Message. Every stone, plant, animal, or situation you meet has a message for you. Listen. Communication. Affirmative answer to a question. Success. Honor, respect, power. Timeline within a month. Okay. That definitely speaks to the whole disowned self in regards to things or parts of you being shown to you for a reason, that it's not for you to further outcast or to disconnect from. It's for you to realize, like, oh, this is this is wisdom, this is guidance, this is a lesson. Then we have snake at the bottom of the deck. It represents renewal. Snakes are highly symbolic and suggest ideas around primal knowledge, fear, deep mysteries, healing, cycles, and duality. Because of the snake's practice of shedding its skin, it's also a strong representative of renewal and change. Snake is associated with birds as well as the ground, and therefore the connection between heaven and earth. Various myths connect snake to rain and to corn, making him also a sign of the continuity of life. Snake is shown with a rainbow above it because it is a symbol that connects the earth and sky in constant renewal or continuation of life. Keep in mind the cycles of life and flow with them, changing and continually growing. Renewal, primal knowledge, magic, secret power, and ability, healing cycles, connection, timeline, November, the month of frost. Okay. So with that, water signs, I think the message is clear. You're definitely in a space of renewal. You're definitely in a space of rebirth. You're needing to find meaning and value in everything that you're picking up along your path. It's not really the time to discard parts of yourself. It's not really time to dismiss the significance of certain people being in your life or the reasons why certain connections happened or disconnected or things like that, or the reason why certain circumstances may have unfolded in ways that were triggering or cause a big upheaval. That's not to be dismissed at this time. It's time to really see exactly the wisdom that was there for you to gain in those situations, and allow that to help you fine tune and to be able to go ahead and then now step into a new level of recognition, a new level of happiness and joy and success with these additional tools that you have. That way, you have another level of resourcefulness that you didn't have before. It's going to allow you to be a lot more intentional and specific in your process of how it is you go about manifesting things and drawing and attracting things to you. And it's going to allow you to now, as you move forward, rise above the bullshit, see a lot of the bullshit coming a mile away, and therefore allowing you to have a lot more of that success and that joy and revitalization from your experiences. So, very good reading. Well, I guess very good in terms of it's gonna work out. There was some shit in there for sure. Okay. Who was next? Let's do X signs next because it is Taurus season. I'm definitely gonna have to get faster with these readings because I'm here to tell you it's not about to be no 2. I'm not about to be doing no 2-hour video. It's up. Not the cars then fit up. Really? The car said, baby, if we got stuff to say, we got stuff to say. How is you going to speed through it? I'm not trying to speed. Just trying to be effective, you know? Oh. Oh. Just taking a little intermission break. I should have brought my water bottle over here, but it's okay. I did not bring it, but it's with me in spirit, no? Guess I shouldn't make a big deal about these things. All right, babe. Let's go ahead and get into the earth signs. The earth. Let's see what's going on with the earth. All right. Yeah, I can specific message for Earth. Sending words of interview signs. This eclipse. Yeah, I can specific message from Earth signs. Okay. Oh. The fates. Root girl popped out as well. So there may be some shadow work happening for you guys as well. But let's go ahead and get into it. So, choices and consequences. Feast of Plenty. Earth signs. That's the overall energy for this eclipse full moon for you guys. We have skywriting the fates. This is definitely one of those quantum leaping kind of conversations, huh? Well, it looks like you guys will be making some defining choices, some pivotal choices with this full moon energy. It looks like a lot of it may be destined. Like you may be destined to be at a position of a particular crossroads, or maybe some things have just come to a head to where it's the timing of it. Maybe there was a timeline or a deadline around something. And so therefore, you know, essentially choices have their consequences, or lack of choices have their consequences, that type of thing. Essentially with skywriting here, it does lead me to believe that, wow, free will does play a part in how things look after the choice was made. It does suggest that whatever the outcome is, it's some degree of it was meant to be, if that makes sense. So, let's say, you know, it's kind of like, okay, I may not, I didn't choose to wash my car today, but you know, it got to get washed. So it's going to get washed eventually. It may look different when I go to the car wash tomorrow, whatever. It may not be the same circumstances or whatever. They may not have the particular feature or whatever it is for my car wash that I want them to do. They may be short staffed or whatever, but the car's still going to get washed. So that's when we talking about the fates. You know what I mean? Like free will can customize it and make it look different. However, certain outcomes are what they are. Like, you know, when people try to go back in time and stop somebody from dying and that person still dies. But it does seem like you may be a little bit overwhelmed with how to go about it. When you have the Feast of Penny, you may have, what does it say? What do they say? I don't know. Would they be like, oh, it's a bad thing, it's almost like a blessing and a curse to have a bunch of choices or whatever? It may feel like that, to where it's like, okay, this is a little bit bittersweet that I feel like I have all these options, but all it does is but it's bittersweet because it just makes me feel overwhelmed, that type of thing. But just know that regardless, the outcome is definitely faded. You guys are taking a break as well. We have detox, repairing the mind, body, and spirit. So there may just, I feel like with the stars in the sky, limitless possibilities, you guys are, this is you feeling overwhelmed. This is as a result of you realizing that a lot of things are unfolding, or a lot of different doors of opportunity are opening, or that the different choices that you're making is going to be incredibly affecting your future right now. Maybe you're at a pivotal point, like you're choosing the type of house you want to move into, or you're choosing whether or not you want to go get serious with a particular partner, and if you say no, you know that you're never going to speak to them again, or something like that, to where you know that whatever the decision is, you know that things are going to be changed permanently from it, and it's making you feel like you need a rest and take a break. Let's see if we got any more messages for the overall energy for Taurus. Oh, excuse me, Tauruses. Earth, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Tauruses maybe more so taking that detox, taking that break. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Okay. Treasures hidden in the shadow. We do have some shadow work happening, but it's showing up in reverse with overall energy. Woodwise adaptability. You guys are fixed as well. So you really might be feeling like this full moon eclipse energy a little bit more intensely than others because of your fixed energy. Because this full moon is definitely asking people to surrender a bit to the unknown and not have like a fixed outcome in their head that they want right now. What is the shadow? What is the shadow that's coming up for you, Tauruses? Because that's what I'm curious about. You guys are refreshing, replenishing yourselves. You're taking a break. You're getting back to center. You're doing some reflecting on the way that you're thinking and the way you're going about things. But you're needing to be adaptable, and for some reason that's connected to your shadow, which is interesting. I mean, you're a fixed sign, but I mean, okay, we have Hermit coming out. Whew. King of Wands reversed. Maybe you could be dealing with a fire sign. But this could be you still. This could also still be you. Maybe someone was overconfident. Somebody may have thought that they were more secure in a situation than they actually were. They may have been a little bit more overzealous about the situation because they were passionate about it, but they didn't have certain elements to kind of like ground that passion so that it could come into fruition. We have the Hermit here, which suggests that there is like a retreating happening, because either, I mean, with the King of Wands reversed, somebody could have been quick-tempered as well, impulsive altogether, maybe acted on something that they maybe should have taken the detox for first. But whatever that is in regards to the shadow side is definitely showing up as the King of Wands. It's definitely a part of you that is a little harsh. It's a little bit, it's the spicy side. It's the side of you to where it's like, ooh, you know, can't get too close because you might get burned fucking around. And so that may have shown up in some degree, and now you're like, okay, I'm thinking about the choice that I made and all the consequences that may unfold afterwards. Or you know, let's say even if you are being challenged to be more adaptable, and you know, you have the foresight or the self-awareness to say, okay, if once you realize that, okay, this is triggering me in some way, someone's asking me to be flexible or compromise on something that I don't really want to, and it's triggering me, you may have the moment to where you're gonna have to pull back that fiery, temperamental, you know, snappier, you know, maybe dictator side to you when we have that King of Wands, and you're gonna have to kind of take a step back and say, okay, let me be more of the Hermit. Let me be more on the receiving and surrendering end of things, which is interesting for the overall energy here. Do we use some more cards to clarify? Should we? I think that might be pretty clear. Let's see what's hidden, actually. Let's get into the depths. What is hidden for my Tauruses? Virgos and Capricorns. Eccan specific message, and Eccan specific message for Earth, Sun, Rising, and our Venus signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and our Venus signs. Eccan specific message. Hidden. Jesus Christ. I don't understand that. Okay. You already have them in responsibilities. When you were thinking about this detox thing, it's first breath is beginner's mind. Why is this? What about doing something new and different is causing you to feel limited, Taurus? Capricorn, Virgo. What the fuck? Why do I keep saying Taurus? You know what? I was dealing with a Taurus Venus. I'm damn it, no. One of my best friends is Taurus. I'm like, what the hell? But seriously, Earth signs, what about, maybe Tauruses are dealing with this more so than other signs. But what about doing things differently, or doing things for the first time, or trying something like completely new is making you feel like you're restricted, that you don't have all these possibilities open for you? Or maybe it's like, in terms of what's hidden, is the fact that you're not looking at other possibilities, and truly you just need to do something new. Let's get some clarity on this. This is just an interesting thing to be in a hidden position. Why do we have, clarify what's going on for what's hidden for my Tauruses? Virgos and Capricorns. Sun, Rising, and Venus signs, and let's see what is hidden for my Earth signs. Get some clarity. Death. 3 of Wands. That still don't make sense to me. It's like you want to take a new direction. It's like you're actually looking forward to new pastures, new possibilities, but there's a death process that happens with it. Maybe because it's coming in like a bittersweet form, that it's not being as welcomed and easily received, if that makes sense. Like maybe because there's like this ending that is happening or has happened, or, you know, or has to happen in order for you to have like something completely new the way you want it. And for some reason, there's some reservation around that. You could feel torn, but I don't think so. I think like you're literally looking forward to what's ahead, but it's like kind of like dreading leaving behind what has to go or something. Okay, so let's see what's going on. What is hidden? Format of sun, moon, rising, and Orphean suns. What is hidden? Hermit again. 2 of Swords. Okay, yes, you guys are torn, but it's like you're trying to not make a decision, and think that that's going to help you. And yes, indecision is a decision, but it's not one that you choose. It's not feast of plenty. It's not choices and their consequences. It's basically inaction and a consequence of inaction, period. It's not you actually making a choice. It's you you're letting the choice be made. If you, with the 2 of Swords, is talking, especially with this, in this Orisha, this Orisha Brazilian tarot deck, with this 2 of Swords, it's talking about engaging. It's talking about showing up to the duel, showing up to either the conversation, showing up to the conflict, facing whatever it is head on. With that in reverse, that is literally you just like, oh, I'm at an impasse and a crossroads. I'm just going to not act. A detox is different from inaction. A detox is self-reflection. It is figuring out, what it is that I want, what it is that's important to me, how it is that I operate, what is the most optimal conditions for me. In action is more so like a hangman that's not even a hangman. In action is it's more like the death card, actually. Yeah. That's actually the most accurate. It is almost like a death card, because if you're not moving, if you're not stagnant, then you're dying. So I don't get it. Maybe you're coming out of this crossroads. There could be, because this may not be relevant for everybody. There could be, there's probably a good significant amount of you guys who is choosing to just get out of the crossroad altogether. I don't want to be at the impasse anymore. I'm choosing to just take that total new route. We had a 3 of Wands, so you know how that is. Like, you're just choosing the new path. You're not choosing, oh, this way or that way. I'm just choosing something that's completely new. And that's just it. I'm not going to either compromise or do things something this way. I'm just going to completely do something completely new. we have the Hermit here. It does suggest that this is probably tying into the me talks, to where it's like, okay, I need to just literally self-reflect. I need to be centered and sure about my core values and what's important to me and my principles, especially on that spiritual energetic level that we get with the Hermit. And so therefore, when we have the Two of Swords here, it's like, I'm not at this impasse anymore. I'm not going to this crossroad anymore. I'm going to find a totally different route so I don't have to go through the crossroad. But the thing also, that's also the thing, especially, let's get some more clarity, because if this is something that is, especially because we did get like the fate and stuff like that, if this is something that's destined to be faced, especially when we have all that contract stuff coming up with the collective, you're gonna have to just face it. Inaction is you taking action. That's your choice. Oh, is you want to pop? Let's see what this is. Two of Wands, more crossroad energy. Oh, we have the Hierophant there. The Hierophant is the High Priest. You have the Ace of Cups. So coming from the heart, Tower card, Lord, Queen of Queen of Cups reverse. Okay, now we gotta get to the details. We gotta get to the nitty gritty of this one. Okay. Oh Lord. The reason why I'm saying oh Lord is just because this relationship stuff that been coming up, child. It ain't playing games. Although this may not even really be about a relationship. This could really just be, especially for the Earth signs, this could be about you guys actually being more connected to your emotions in a way that's on a soul level, rather than, you know, reacting or impulses or just, you know, subconscious wiring that you've had for however long type of thing. You know what I mean? So that's interesting. The Tower moment here with the Ace of Cups lets me know that some sort of upheaval happened that really showed you how you truly felt about a situation. It really showed you maybe how someone else felt as well, but it's showing you what the true feelings are in a situation, and that's important. We have the Queen of Cups reversed, which suggests that it's kind of like the King. I don't know if either this is you and another person, or this is your masculine, feminine. Like both of these aspects are of you, but it's basic, and they both have to do with emotions. When we talk about fire signs, while they are yang energy, is the more emotional feminine side of the yang elements. So we have air and fire, both yang, earth and water, both yin. Emotional, the more feminine aspects of the yang is the fire. That's when you get the creativity, all of that, you know, primordial energy, which the yin energy, you know, dominates. So this could be the masculine and the feminine side of you, to where you are showing up, earth signs, as totally inverted in the way that you are regulating your emotions, the way you're reacting to people, the way that you are receiving and kind of giving off energy. That could totally be the case. But this could also be to where this could be someone around you, to where it's like, okay, either this person is being inconsiderate, they're showing up as this King of Wands in reverse, and then that's making me be a more distorted version of my Queen of Cups energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of being my normal, nurturing, you know, well-balanced self, now I am, you know, I guess like vindictive or manipulative, petty, or, you know, emotionally hurtful and abusive or whatever you can get from like that Queen of Cups reversed. But I mean, essentially whatever happened in terms of this Tower moment, it revealed the true feelings of what was going on in a particular dynamic. So that, you know, that's that on that, I guess. In those type of situations, I would always rather know than to be in the dark. For me personally, I would rather know what's really good and how people really feel, rather than, you know, living in some sort of illusion. So, I see why you guys feel like, okay, the choice of whatever it is that I make in terms of moving forward is definitely going to, like, things is going to change either way. Things is going to change. Things have to, there's going to be consequences. Something has to be held accountable. Something has to be corrected either way it goes. What's the best course of action for my earth signs to be most aligned with their highest self with this full moon and eclipse energy happening? What's the best course of action for my earth signs, sun, rising, and Venus signs? Oh. The crossing initiation at the root. Okay. Lord, if you, this better be upright. It was reverses, but I don't care. Look, first breath, beginner's mind. And you have the crossing initiation. Guys and gals, you know what that means? It's happening regardless. You're going through some level of ascension. You are going through some level of jumping off the porch. You're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know what to expect. You're going to have to be adaptable. You're going to have to approach things differently. You're going to have to be willing to, I don't fucking know, try things for the first time. Compromise on something that you always thought you wanted one way and now you can be okay with it another way. Or what are the things that people just, they're just doing something differently. You are being initiated. You are entering some level of level up. And it's going to, while you feel like maybe like, okay, I just need to just get back to myself and, you know, kind of just like rejuvenate and this and that. Like, yes, come about it with a fresh, with fresh energy, but it is going to take for you to realize that your mindset has to change. There is going to be a level of rewiring happening because you're being initiated. And initiation is done through trauma, repetition, and symbols. That's what's happening, earth signs. Like, there is a level of leveling. It's a moment of leveling up that's happening to where it's like, the way that you probably was thinking about things before, it's probably not going to be the way you think about things, once you're on the other side of things. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be like, okay, well, shit. Now I kind of see, this type of person, I never really understood them and their perspective, but now I do. Shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's something to embrace. Heart, home, compassion. Universe is your partner. Co-creation. Yes, guys, it's time to co-create from the heart. Okay? It's time to really have your heart be your compass in these situations. Truly go with the heart. Yes, you may have to change the way you're thinking or communicating, or the different thought processes that you may have around something. But with your heart being true and pure and connected to your soul and your divinity, that is going to be your compass so that you don't stray away from your authenticity and your true sense of being. You'll be able to do your self-care, your detoxes, and, you know, cleansing of the self, and still be able to have that compass that you had. It's not going to change who you are at your core. It's not going to change your soul. It's just going to change how you show up within humanity mostly, and especially with all these swords and things like that, or even with the significant wands and cups placements that you have. It may just literally change the way you're showing up behaviorally, emotionally, the way you're showing up in regards to the different like endeavors and passions and things that you have. Like, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. I don't think that you think that it's a bad thing. I think that you don't realize to what level that you actually have to be involved and engaged in this initiation process. I think that you may perceive it as something that is happening to you, but it's something that you're co-creating. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you are actively, purposely participating fate-wise to be triggered by or to be initiated by. Like, this is not something that is just happening by happenstance, and this is just a circumstance that you were just thrown into. This was ordained. This was the things fell into the way that they did so that you can actually be able to face this type of conflict. There's two words here. This type of conflict or this type of impasse head on, and, you know, confront it, face it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, you know, because it could be some avoidance happening. I'm not 100% sure, especially because you guys got the Hermit card so many times. I don't know if y'all just being to yourself or avoiding. That it could be a little bit of both. But I mean, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying sometimes people do take time to themselves to avoid you know, hard conversations, or, you know, coming to final decisions and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know that this newness is happening. You know that things are not the same. They probably haven't felt the same. They're probably, you know, even how you see the future is not even the same anymore. So because of that, you do have to be willing to engage in how that process is being created moving forward. Because if not, it's going to be created regardless. It's going to be created regardless, and then you're just going to be stuck with whatever somebody else let happen to you, or decided to let happen to you, rather than you choosing. So there's that. I think that was helpful. I will say this, Earth signs. Earth signs, your reading was really about knowing that certain things are indeed predestined, and we have our free will because we have the agency and the birthright to form things to truly be fitting to us and our calling, and what makes us passionate and what makes us motivated and engaged. And if you choose to opt out of that, you know, active free will process, what is predestined and meant to be will happen regardless. It just won't have your magical touch, it won't have your influence, and it won't have the essence in which you bring to certain situations. It'll still have some of the same results, it'll still have maybe some of the same outcomes, but it's not going to have the detailing and layering and custom fit that if you were to be engaged and active in that co-creation process, that you would have brought. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want you guys to just let life happen and kind of just, you know, bypass, maybe do spiritual bypass or anything like that. I challenge you guys to be active in the process and to see what that brings. Okay, let's move on. What do I want to do next? I want to do air signs for some reason. Okay, let's get into it. I'm really surprised this video is this long. I'm kind of nervous about that, but this is my first time, guys. Okay. Why am I starting with this? For some reason, it feels so good to start with this too. I'm gonna add specific messages for my air sign, rising and Venus sign, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm gonna add specific messages for my air signs. For this full moon eclipse, trying to figure out to truth and faith. Guys, I'm telling you, I get specific messages for my air signs. For the important energy. Oh, Lord, Hermit. Ooh, strength. Okay. This strength card has been coming out in reverse, child. I don't understand it. I may have to do a little extra shuffle on these decks. Alright. Back in specific message. Excuse me. Air signs, I give me specific message. Many masks of self, drifter, experiencing life as it comes, overall energy. This is interesante. What's on the bottom of the deck for this? Hermit. We got Hermit. For the strength, and then for drifter we have mini mask, authentic self. All right, air signs. Oh, that was a good neck crack. All right. There's a level of authenticity that this full moon is asking you to tap into and find strength in. This might be a little bit more relevant to like the Geminis or Libras. Geminis aren't as much of people pleasers as Libras, but Geminis are heavy on the peacemakers side. Aquarius is a peacemaker too, but it's definitely a rebel with the cause. So our peacemakers and the people pleasers of the air sign community may have a little bit of a struggle with this, but there's a level of authenticity that you guys are stepping into, that it's time to find strength in by maybe taking a little bit of alone time and giving yourself a moment to, we have the Seven of Swords at the bottom now, to kind of dispel the illusions around what, you know, getting it right is supposed to look like, or having a full or meaningful life is supposed to look like. You may have to do a little bit of soul searching for that. But essentially, it's time for you to embrace who you are in all parts of it. Your authentic self is also the self that decides to code switch, because you authentically know multiple languages. If you were in Spain, you would code switch to Spanish, correct? You wouldn't say, oh, I gotta only speak English and I'm not speaking my native tongue, so I'm not being authentic because I'm in Spain. That's not true. You are authentically bilingual, okay? And that's something for you to find strength in. With the drifter, it does suggest that you may be feeling projections from other people onto you, or maybe internal projections and things like that, that, you know, you should have it together by now, or that something should not be still in limbo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have something figured out, or you should have like a specific destination and outcome that you're gunning for right now. And that's not truly where you're at with it. And it's because you need that hermit time. It's because you need that time to yourself to really decide what a new beginning would look like, in a way that actually allows you to have all of the facets of yourself show up. Let's see. What else do we have for the overall energy for my air signs? Making a specific message. Home. Overall energy. Reconciliation. Wow, this is so interesting. The ones that are reversed are very telling. I'm gonna make sure for the next time we're reading that all of these are going to be upright, and then see what happens. So we have Wailing Tree, reconciliations, and at the root of it we have Deep Diver, diving into a task. And underneath that we have Bold Step Forward. This is cool, because what I feel like is truly the reconciliation with you guys is your sense of focus, which is very, not airheaded, but that is some air sign shit. I'm not gonna lie. You guys may have been on double, triple task mayhem. And at this point, it's about you guys saying, okay, I'm going to laser focus and really bring things to the other side of the finish line. Really kind of re-engage or reignite some things that were loose ends that kind of need to be tied up. Also, it could be you reinventing or revising what it means to actually be focused on getting something done, if that makes sense. Because your version of being focused on something may have been trapped in a societal box. Like, oh, you know, you have to complete one project before you begin a new one type of thing. And now you're seeing through your multiple different hats that you wear, or the multiple different ways that you're able to show up, and the different roles that you're able to play within each aspect, you're starting to see like, okay, wait, with this project, I can get this amount done with this thing, and then I can put it on pause, and then with this thing, I can get this started around this time because this is the season for it, type shit. And I think that that is allowing you to kind of, okay, how can I put all of the things, how can I put all of my different, let's say, tools and nuggets into one wheelhouse, essentially. And it's not one wheelhouse for one outcome, but one wheelhouse so that this shit works together, you know. They could also, let me get some clarity on that too. I'm like, could there also be people that you have walked away from in the past, trying to find some level of reunion with you? Let's clarify this Wailing Tree reconciliations. Hermit again, Lord. World cycle, yeah. What did you get the Hermit for? For your Strength card. And then we got the World. So there's a cycle happening with this reconciliations. Something about you guys taking this time to drift and like feel things out. Something about that internal or that introspection that you gain from that is helping you in regards to this cycle that you could be potentially restarting, or are there things coming up again from the past? It could be things from the past coming in again for a new cycle, for a fresh start, if that makes sense. Because now you have a different way or a different approach to focusing in on it. Especially when we have that deep diver diving deep into a specific task. You may have something that shows up again, like maybe something that you started in the past, or a connection that you had in the past, and that now is a new cycle for it because you took the time to actually go within, reflect, and ground is the best way to put that. We do have Magician's Sword in here, but let's go ahead and let me see if there's any more messages for the overall energy for my air signs. I can finish for this one. My air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you get a specific message. Balancing act. Magician's Sword again. Okay, and I put that up right. It was reversed the first time, child. So you have to believe. Let me stop. Let me stop. Every time I get Magician's Sword, I get excited. I love this card. Magician's Sword. I love it. Listen. You gotta believe in yourself, okay? It's not a game and it's not a joke. With Magician's Sword, this means that you have the power of the tongue. Really, you just have the ability to manifest. It could be either through words or through thoughts or through actions or whatever it is. But essentially, you have a very powerful manifestation energy on your side, and you have to have trust and faith in your magic that you're going to be able to balance it all. And look at this. Lost compass, getting back to integrity. This relates directly to the drifter, because the drifter, not all that I wonder are lost. The drifter is like, okay, I'm going to take me an expedition because I need to clear my mind and I need to see what else there is to discover in the world. The lost compass is, oh, I had a destination, I don't know where the fuck I'm at now. My whole compass keeps spinning around, I'm confused as fuck. And I feel like you need to realize that there is indeed a balance in that. as you are feeling things out and as you are figuring out all the ways in which all of your many different mask, hats, or skill sets can work in unison, you have to realize that there are going to be moments where you're going to feel slightly lost, but that doesn't take away from your magic. That doesn't take away from, you know, the gift and the power that you have. So I think with the Magician's Sword, it's just basically like, look, you have magic to use. Use it. As much of it as you can. And just make sure that it's balanced and harmonious. Focus on each task at hand and make sure that you're approaching it in a way that one hand is washing another, essentially. This is interesting, my friends. Let's see what is hidden for the full moon for my air signs. What is hidden for this full moon eclipse? I give a specific message. What is hidden for my air signs? Oh. Oh, wow. No, that's crazy. Okay. This is crazy. First of all, I cannot believe this video is this long. Lord have mercy on my soul. This is definitely going to be timestamped, child. Okay. So what is hidden? Crown gains, right? Use of power, whale song, resonating. Crown gains suggests that there is a level of status that you're reaching, or that people around you are sensing that you have reached or are reaching, and they're trying to position themselves, essentially. So
recording stopped.
God, the funny thing about being psychic is I said to myself before I started recording, the only thing that'll be the unknown in this process right now, after I've tested how everything looks, how everything's gonna, you know, which camera is lighting, all of this and that, the one thing that I knew I was not going to be able to predict was if I was going to have enough memory, child, or my technology during Mercury retrograde to get this reading out. And I don't understand why my reading is over 2 hours, but please believe this, I will be getting faster, okay? These new moon and full moon readings will be 1.5 hours max. Thank you. But for now, it's the first one. Let's get the kinks out. Okay. So back to it. Air signs. All right. So definitely, like I said, with the crown games coming up, you do have a position of power that you're in or stepping into, or, you know, gearing up for, things like that. And people are positioning themselves around you. So you have to be aware about what is actually resonating. Okay. That's going to be really important. And with transmuting pain coming here, it's going to be a test of, is it intuition or is it trauma? Okay. You may be picking up on different things of you know, who you want to resonate with, and, you know, what seems like you're drawn to and things like that. But you need to know if you're drawn to them because of power or trauma. Now, I didn't mean to say power, but it could be that. Because air signs, this could be you. You could be on the other end to where you are trying to position yourself around people because you feel like someone or something or whatever has a position of power or something, you know, whatever it is. You have to be true to yourself to know what is indeed really resonating, because with crown games, things can get messy because it's wealth involved, it's legacy, it's status. And especially with that Scorpio, we got a Scorpio full moon, baby. and that's an 8 card. That 8th house energy is going to be active. So let's see what else is hidden for my air signs. Sun, rising, and Venus signs. So this is why I couldn't do. Let me stop. Let me take myself out. Oh, closing the door. Completion. Ooh, both step forward. Wow. Okay. All right. We have another ending and beginning. So Scorpionic. Okay. With one door open, with one door closes, another opens. So we have closing door completion. There's some changes happening for sure. Definitely that cycle is, there's a cycle closing out for sure. The farther gate, bold step forward, 5-5. So this is 2 5s, baby. 5 5 5 5 5. Change is coming, and it's gonna take some risk. It's gonna involve some risk taking, which is why you need to have strength in your authentic self and in your magic, so that as you take these risks and you do the bolder thing, the thing that's a little bit more so out of your comfort zone, you may be used to handling tasks and delegating things in a certain way and you're doing it differently now. Or you may be used to having a bunch of different tasks going on and now you focusing on one thing, or vice versa, however it's going. And you have to have faith that you can do it. You have to have faith that things have truly changed in a way that all of this soul searching, this 1-4 that you did, all of that feeling things out, XYZ, that it was worthwhile and that you gained something meaningful from it that's going to be able to help you and assist you in this next step forward. Let's get some clarity about what is hidden for my air signs, because this is interesting. What's going on? We got some crown gains going on. We got some bold steps forward. What is hidden for my air signs? Reveal it for the solar. Excuse me. This full moon solar eclipse. We got the full card popping. It's definitely a risk being taken here. What is happening here? Oh, we got the King of Swords. Some tower, oh, justice, something karmic. Okay, never mind. I told this king of, I don't know what this King of Swords is in these readings. Air sign, this might be you. This might be you. You might be done popped up. You done popped up in a few people readings now, air signs. This King of Swords. Just might be you, okay, darling? We have the Justice card coming out. In reverse. There's something karmic. There's something karmic happening. With these crown games, it may be tied into family. It may have something to do with soul tribe, people who you know for past lives. It could have something to do with people who you may have sacred contracts with, marriages, children, business endeavors, that sort of thing, property, you know, things that result in contracts, because something karmic is definitely happening. What was that? That's what this King of Swords is about. What is happening with this Justice card? Okay, hold on. What was that popping up? Now we got the Queen of Swords. Wow, air signs, this is you. Yeah, the King and the Queen of Swords coming. Tower, well, here go that tower. I said, as soon as that, I thought the tower was going to be connected. I said, as soon as that King of Swords, we're going to have a tower. Knight of Swords. Ooh, some sort of conversation. Some sort of conversation where truth is coming out causes a tower. some conversation. Maybe somebody's being quick at the lip and it reveals something that causes an ending. We have 6 of Wands, so victory is still, ooh, victory is coming at the root of some conflict that has to get resolved. It's 5 of Swords reversed. There's a conflict happening. This is what this Crown Games is about. This may be, I don't know what this conversation is around, but it is around something that is going to change the way a dynamic is happening. Closing door came out too, so obviously something is ending. What is ending? What is this conflict about? What is ending for air signs, air signs? Rising signs. What is happening here? I don't know which way you wanna go. Oh, we got the Hermit. Okay. Ooh. Ace of Pentacles reversed. Maybe about some level of commitment or taking initiative on some investment that is rejected or not followed through on, or Empress. Whoo. Is the Empress going not solo, but going after something that's involving with her self-interest? So maybe you're normally in this Empress position, or you may actually just be in this Empress position with this Crown Gains showing up. That you may be in this position of power, this position of matriarchal type of leadership, to where basically, you know, people do for you, they take care of you because you're nurturing your support system. You know, you've established, or you've laid the groundwork for something, and so now people cater and take care of you. And you are specifically now, although you do look out for a tribe or collective, or you know, let's just say a family, or some type of dynamic of people, you are now acting in your self-interest and based off of your own personal passions. Oh, wow. We have the 3 of Swords in reverse underneath that. That's interesting for that to flip out. It may have, it may be as a result of some, is it deception? Is it betrayal, lies, deceit? Is it trickery? Just bullshit? Something that was just not, the 3 of Swords reversed. It's something that's hurtful, but it's more so, I feel like, about the intentions of something. With the swords right here, I think that, because we getting on these swords, I think it was some specific intention, or like mindset, or perspective on something that lets you know it's time for you to just act in your self-interest. That would be the better route for you, air signs. Let's clarify what was going on. I feel like my nails are stopping the flow a little bit. Hold on. Okay. Knight of Cups. It could be romantically related. We have the 10 of Swords here. There may have been a romantic offer that resulted in more a bit of re-traumatizing, like something re-traumatizing resurfaced from some sort of like emotional offer, or if it's an offer, or maybe some emotional initiative, like maybe somebody tried to open up to you about their emotions and it re-traumatized you. Like, dang, I didn't know that you felt that way. That reminded me of da-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba type of situation. We have the Star card with the Sun. The Star and the Sun is really good to get together. It seems like, oh, and Temperance here at the bottom too. Ooh. Nine of Swords. Stop the overthinking. Eight of Swords. Get out of the mental jail that you're putting yourself in from self-limiting beliefs. And then we got the World card. And you have the Sun and the Star. What was the card that I say you have to know whether or not it's trauma or intuition? I forget which card I referenced that, but I feel like the Sun and the Star card is helping you definitely discern prayer. Oh, excuse me. Prayer, self-healing, setting your intentions, positive thinking, or at least thinking in regards to the outcome of your desire. Devotion to the process and stepping fully into it, surrendering to the process of what's true in your heart and what's true to your intentions and your wishes is going to help you be more in touch with your intuition rather than your trauma in regards to how this is showing up. I feel like with the three, you have the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords that have popped out. So yeah, that's definitely, there's some level of trickery in delusion, not delusion, but illusion happening. There's some level of trickery and illusion happening here, air signs. And there's gonna need to be some self-healing and some soul searching to resolve whatever this conflict is. It's an argument of some kind or impasse of some kind. Let me get some more clarity. This is air signs. I didn't expect all this. A fallen angel, spiritual narcolepsy, covenant. Oh my God, yo. It's a contract. That's where we got the whole justice card. It's definitely a contract. It's a sacred contract. It was maybe karmically ordained in regards to you and the parties involved. You have sacred contract and falling angel, spiritual narcolepsy. Oh, now we're going deep dive into the task. That's that self-interest the Empress is on. Let me see what's underneath here. Moving forward toward a venture you may not want to. Fallen angel and covenant. Within the sacred contract, one of the parties is, or both, I'm not sure, it's either you or the person you're involved with, or both of you guys, or however many people it is, somebody is not fully awakened. Somebody is not fully stepped into their power. Somebody is not fully aware of the spiritual significance of the union happening and the contract happening in this, what was that Ace of Swords, not Ace of Swords, but that Ace of Pentacles, or whatever, that initiative, that investment that got delayed or rejected or whatever. somebody is not spiritually aware of the significance of it, and it's impacting the contract. Spiritual narcolepsy suggests that somebody who's more so just going towards what is not glitz and glam, but you know, what is satisfying, I want to say lower natures, but just satisfying like they're more primal and they, you know, not impulsive, but carnal nature is the best way to put it. It's not really spiritually based. It's based on their carnal desires, right? Their flesh. Somebody is gravitating towards the flesh, while this is a spiritual connection. It's not about the flesh. And that them going towards the flesh may have drifted you two apart, cause some level of, let's say, betrayal, deceit, whatever it is, or just lack of communication or conflict, and just in general. And that's an impact in the sacred union here. The issue with these sacred contracts is that both parties have to be actively aware and engaged in it to revise it or whatever. When it comes to, if one person isn't aware, if one party isn't participating, it's like somebody not coming into court. Ultimately, it then goes into the person's who showed up. So show up. Essentially, show up for the conversation, show up for whatever this Five of Swords moment is, whatever this conflict is, because by you showing up and doing your part within the contract, you can have that closing door, that completion, and then you can take that bolder step forward. So that's what I'm getting here. Oh, this is interesting. And we're just hitting, Lord. Ooh, do we need more clarity? Maybe about the spiritual narcolepsy. I want to know about that. That's interesting, because we done broke down the sacred contracts that's in the collective child. But the spiritual narcolepsy, this is a little bit new cards for you guys to see. So, let's see, clarify what's going on with this spiritual narcolepsy. Is you ready? We have the Knight of Pentacles. This could be, the spiritual narcolepsy could be an earth sign towards Virgo, Capricorn, or it could just be somebody who's more so focused on the financial aspect of life, or, you know, any situation, your situation or your dynamic or whatever. Focus on this financial aspect. The issue is that it's causing them to, I don't want to say have unnecessary boundaries, but limit themselves is the best way to put it. It's causing them to limit themselves. It's causing them not to, you know what's interesting? You see in this Four of Swords? This lizard actually wants this food that's in the middle of the sword, but these swords is placing like a false boundary around it. And if you're in your primal carnal state where you're not operating in your most fully elevated state of being, if you see these, you know, false boundaries or these false limitations, you won't know that there's a very clear path for you to go and get exactly what it is you want, which is right there at the center. So with that fallen angel, that's really kind of what they're going through. Just this false sense of limitations where they're right there for the clear path, but they might trick themselves to feeling limited. You know how it is when they say like, oh, if you trap flies in a jar, soon they won't try to fly above the lid. That type of mentality, really. I mean, that spiritual narcolepsy could just mean that somebody may have been asleep for so long, or in survival mode for so long, or in their carnal natures for so long that they may have forgotten and they need to be awakened. Okay, we have the Page of Wands. Oh, and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely trying to get the money right. Get things right financially. Set themselves up, and to kind of like take the initiative on the things that they desire. They're speaking about the things that they desire, though. We got the Judgment. There's gonna be something that happens. There might be, did we get the Tower for you guys? I think we did. It did come out, but there is a judgment that's going to be made. There's going to be some upheaval that causes like a trigger to be like, oh, wait a minute. If I continue to engage in something, I'm gonna have to either fully awaken, or if I want to stay asleep, then that's just what it's going to be. And that judgment, it is going to be a karmic thing. That's why we have that Justice in reverse. It's going to be karmic. It's going to be based off the work that they've done within themselves. And the funny thing is with the spiritual narcolepsy, with the fallen angel, it's not that they are always asleep. It's not that they never were awake type thing. It's that they were awake, like they stepped into their angelic form, they stepped into their God body, and they got distracted by trying to make things work financially, by trying to make things work in the mundane world, and they've been using the tools of the mundane to make it happen rather than their spiritual tools. And so something has to go off and trigger them. Okay, Lord, it's a lot. Okay. What was this? I thought I was supposed to be on the best course of action, child. I don't even know where we at no more. I feel like we done went into everything. Okay, let's do the best course of action for my answer. Child, this is a long ass video. Just know, baby, these videos gonna be an hour and a half moving forward. I ain't lying. Okay, best course of action for my air signs. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What's going on with my air signs, baby? What's the best course of action for y'all to be most aligned with your higher self, please, and thank you. Overflow, overwhelming plenty. Ooh, time to replenish. Empty well. Empty well. Empty well is not a bad sign. Who was it? It was Earth who got the cue that indecision and inaction is not the way to go right now. That's interesting. Because if you guys empty well, time to replenish, you need to rest. I don't know. I'm sorry. That just came. I'm sorry that came out like that, but you do. You could use some time of inaction and relaxation and getting and coming back to yourself so that you could overflow. But if you have some earth placements, you might be already in the process of that. The earth signs, they know what to do. They on a self-care relaxation journey, and when they get back, they know they got to do some action. They can't just avoid it. They getting, with y'all busybody doer self, definitely time to relax your nerves, because with empty well, it suggests that you may be trying to give from your cup into a well that's empty, if that makes sense. Or you may be trying to claw your way out of a well, which is going to do more harm than good, when you can just kind of just wait for the damn well to fill back up and swim your happy ass to the top type thing. And so and that's not bad, because we also have overflow, overwhelming plenty there, which does suggest, I did say with y'all double tasking ass, what was that card? Dive deep into a task. You are putting a lot on yourself, and you're trying to figure out a way to make it work. You're going to have to go into that hermit mode and go into that moment of self-reflection so that you can say, okay, this is where I'm at for my full cup. This is what I have to give, and this is how I'm going to delegate it. So like I said, everything goes, and there's a functioning system that's feeding into itself. One hand washing the other type of mentality. Maybe we should let me get some clarity for this empty well. Here's some accurate, specific messages. What's going on with this empty well here in regards to this course of action? What's going on for my air signs with this empty well? Four of Cups. Ooh. Okay, obviously these cards holders can't take it all. There may have been some resentment or entitlement building with how you've been showing up previously. And it's important for you to be fully replenished before you participate in the crown games, before you participate in, okay, who is trying to leverage, you know, my success and my power, my resources, There may just need to be some true rest and restoration, because there's some entitlement and resentment that's building up emotionally. So the best course of action is definitely to not continue to give from an empty cup, to realize maybe that there are certain cups that you don't have the capacity to fill if you are not yourself in overwhelm and plenty and overflow. Okay? All right, some more best course of actions for my signs. Symbolizing your loving signs. Treasures in the shadow. Me talks. Okay, boom, we're done. What else do you guys need from me? We got me talks. Come on. Come on. Take a note from the earth signs. Relax your nerves. Take a step back. Really decipher and rewire your subconscious mind so that you know that you're not reacting out of trauma and hurt and pain and this and that, and that you're showing up for your sacred contracts, and then go from there, guys. Air signs. It's looking like a lot of different things are starting to work or come to fruition at once for you guys. You're being asked to put on a lot of different hats, play a lot of different roles at once, and your primary focus right now is figuring out how to laser focus these things so that one hand is washing the other. There's some karmic things at play, especially in regards to your wealth, your status, and the influence and power that you have. And so you have to be self-aware that right now it would be better to revitalize, really harness in on self, strengthen your confidence and your faith in your own abilities, your own talents, your own gifts, so that therefore, as you're starting to see different people position themselves around you, or maybe come back and try to start cycles over or start things fresh, that you're gonna have the level of discernment to conflict resolve, cut cords, cut contracts, renew, revise contracts, and rejuvenate yourself in a way that's not going to be draining. There is some partnerships where you're realizing that certain activations have to happen, either on your part or their part, in order for things to come in together, because you can't keep giving to a well that's run dry. It's only gonna empty out your cup, and then you will have to go ahead and be replenished. So with that, I thank you, air signs. Hopefully that was helpful. Let's go ahead and move to the fire signs. Yeah, I cannot believe this video is this long. This is about to be 3. Dude, I think it's 3 hours. I really do. I can't believe that I have a 3-hour freaking YouTube video I might have tried to upload. God have mercy on my soul, dude. I'm never doing this lengthy ass video again. I promise you. This is gonna be way shorter next time. Okay. Like I said, I should have brought my bottle of water over here. But I'm already here. Oh, it's done. Let me do it 5 seconds before I get to the fire signs, child. I didn't think I was gonna be in here all night. I can't believe this. Okay. Eclipse energy. What is your overall energy for my fire signs? Okay. Limitless possibilities for these fire signs. We have Feast of Plenty. You guys may be dealing with earth signs right now. We got similar cards. Let's clarify what's going on for the fire signs in particular. This limitless possibilities and choices and consequences. Ooh. Give a specific message for the fire signs. Two of Cups. And we have the Page of Swords at the bottom, which is good. It does seem like you're hold on, limitless possibilities. Hold on. You might got some options, fire signs, okay? Okay. Some love options coming in. We have the Page of Swords here at the bottom. It may, especially with the limitless possibilities, you guys could be having some transformational conversations with lovers, or maybe with people who are like in your soul tribe, people who kind of connect with you on like a heart level, soul level, They kind of like really, you know, people who get you. You may be having some activating conversations is the best way to put it. Something that is like springing you into action or causing you to really look at things differently or think differently or approach things differently. Oh, that King of Swords is out. What are you coming with? The Fool in reverse, Lord. This King of, what is with the King of Swords? This is the, I mean, every time the King of Swords has come out, it's always been with something crazy. There's something with that. Yeah, the Nine of, okay. Lord have mercy. King of Swords. Interesting for the overall energy. King of Swords with the Fool in reverse. You might not be taking a risk, or you may be looking to take more of a safe, logical route. What's going on? Let's see what's going on for the overall energy, child. A safe, logical route that you feel like you have more of control of the outcome with this Nine of Cups. Something that, you know, gives you like that independent type of emotional satisfaction. Contentment is the best way. There is a Ten of Swords at the bottom of that, so that could have come out of pain and hurt or something like that, a painful situation. But the Two of Cups, limitless possibilities. Maybe you guys are talking, maybe you are talking with loved ones or a loved one about the different ways that you can start over or do something fresh or in a new way that may be less risky, but I don't know. Because with the Fool reverse, that could suggest maybe being a little impulsive. Let's see what's coming out here. Straddling rewards in between realms. You're definitely at that quantum leap period. And I guess you guys are feeling it, which is why we have this Fool in reverse, to where it's like you don't really want to, you don't want to leap before you look. You have that a King of Swords, to where it's like you really want to be logical, strategic about your approach with it. You want to be grounded and not make it an emotional based decision, something that's sound all the way through, not just for that emotional satisfaction, especially when you have that Nine of Cups coming, meaning that there's just independent emotional fulfillment that you guys are more so maybe protecting or prioritizing or not wanting to put at risk. We have straddling between realms. Straddling worlds, wandering between realms, and Watchers, transpersonal. Watchers. Really love this card, not because of the energy, but more so because of what it teaches us about the society that we live in. With Watchers, it speaks about the fact that obviously we all have guides, we all have a spirit team, we all have ancestors, we all have people looking out for us. But with Watchers, transpersonal is talking about the fact that even in the collective, there is energy that is looking and seeing and seeking and kind of not manipulating, but looking to see what you're doing and seeing how they could influence your outcomes, or to what's the best way to put it? See how they can co-create based off of what they're observing from you, essentially. Possibility for union, sacred sky bridge. With the Watchers showing up wandering between realms, with Watchers, it does talk about being objective and not taking anything personal about this process. You may be showing up as seemingly an outcast or not really belonging into specific groups that you're fielding around or orbiting around or getting involved in. And that's causing people to start to pay attention to you. And while that person, that specific person that is gathering and observing you and gathering information and sending cues and energy signals into the ethers and XYZ about, you know, how you're co-creating into the world, that person may not even be conscious of it. It's just because you're going in between realms and you are having access to different paradigms that that person may not be used to, if that makes sense. Or like you could be witnessing this maybe for the first time about yourself, that, you know, it depends on the people that you're around, like how the universe begins to like send feedback energy to you, if that makes sense. This could have something to do with the love situation, meaning that, I don't want to say their ancestors, but like their ancestors, their guides, or, you know, just like their spiritual counsel is keeping an eye out to determine whether or not this is something that, which possibilities should be open for the love connection, or I don't know if it's love, but the soul connection or the heart to heart or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Essentially, they're keeping an eye out. Magician's sword, confidence in magic. I think that you know that, though. I think that you know that your actions are having a quantum impact on things. Like you're noticing that, let's say, okay, your limitless possibilities are you have multiple dates, like multiple people that you could see and this and that. You're aware of the fact that when you accept one date, seemingly for some reason, the others either fall through or they stop asking, or things just they fall off or whatever it is. And that one date ends up being the only thing that ends up working out, if that makes sense. It's like you're probably being more aware of the fact that with these limitless possibilities, as you are interfacing with them and communicating or thinking about it, strategizing, whatever it is, that you are also manipulating the process as well, if that makes sense. So you, again, there are guides, there are ethereal, energetic beings kind of observing the situation and co-creating based off certain actions, and you're aware of the fact that you have an influence on that is happening because of your decisions and because your actions, what you're saying, what you're doing, and you know what it is that you're acting towards. Pretty interesting energy. Anything else for the overall for the fire? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Making specific message. Lost in space, new direction. Ooh, the wall obstacles. All right. We're getting back to this Fool in reverse. And this King of Swords. Something going on. Because the King of Swords is here. And so far from every reading, the King of Swords has been coming with some stuff. So there's definitely you're hitting the impasse. You're hitting the impasse. Why is that? What is this? What is this? What is this blockage? What is this wall about? Queen of Cups. So 2 of Wands. Lord have mercy, God. Why is it that the people want to play games? Okay, 2 of Wands. Definitely have some options or 2 different directions that you can go into. With the Queen of Cups, this could be you. And you really trying to field like which direction is truly going to bring you like that emotional fulfillment and feeling like, okay, I am safe here. You know, this is a safe space for my heart. This is a safe space for, you know, me to show up as my full self and for my intuition, for, you know, my nurturing, or for me to be a nurturer. You're really trying to, you're at a space to where you're fielding which direction to go with that. The wall and obstacle could also be that you're choosing. We have this Queen of Cups here. You're choosing which queen. You're choosing which where to put your emotional like investment, where to put your emotional I don't want to say engagement, because with the Queen it's like basically you could be choosing between people. We have the Emperor reverse. Okay, this is interesting. Oh no, it's not in reverse, it's okay. We have the Emperor and the 3 of Pentacles. You're building something. You're trying to make moves happen, and you're trying to see who could be involved to help you build. It's like you're in a position of leadership here, and you're looking to see like what type of team do you want to have on your side? What type of support system do you want to have? You want some things to work out. And with this Emperor, as you guys can see, he's literally like going towards the Queen of Cups. It's like, okay. And you got the 2 of Wands there at the bottom. So it's like, okay, which way am I going to go to get this queen? To get this sense of like a counterpart, because you have the 2 of Cups here. It's like you're really trying to figure out where to go further. Oh, we have an Empress. Wow. Oh, and the 6 of Cups. Lord, this is too much. This is too much sauce. It's too much tea is what it is. This is scalding. 7 of Wands. Okay. Oh, Lord. You have the Empress. Not even going in the same direction as the Emperor, child. This is interesting. This is really interesting. And then we have this 2 of Swords and the 7 of Wands reverse. Definitely putting down some sort of burden or fight. Okay, this wall is very interesting. Lord, I didn't think we was going to be in this. Let me try to read this as individual as I can, child, because this is telling a story. So if this is all happening within you, it's like your masculine side, your yang energy wants to take action and build with people. And have like that sense of emotional stability, that emotional support, like, you know, that support system. And your feminine side is dealing with the 6 of Cups energy, like just dealing with like past life shit, childhood trauma, you know, repeating patterns, or like the love for nostalgia, you know what I'm saying, rather than like the love for the new. It's like you're in conflict. Because it's like you want to take the initiative to go towards, you know, building with others and making yourself happy and da-da-da-da-da. But then you have a side of you where it's like, oh, well, I can just, you know, be happy with the memories, and I can just be, you know, I can kind of just like make it work and do what I've always done type of thing. Like I've learned it as a child. I've had to do it before. I can do it again. I can just kind of focus on my own way, which is interesting in how this looks right now. Because the Empress, she is still going towards the wall. She's still willing to confront the obstacles. She's just doing it in a different way. But if this is you and another person, it almost seems as if with the Emperor and the Empress showing up here, it's definitely a divine counterpart that's already encountered. There's already a divine counterpart that's already connected. And the Empress party is more so dealing with the past life aspect of it and the emotional memories that has been a result of this union. And the Emperor aspect is like, okay, I want to build towards something new, and you know what I'm saying? The Emperor adds, if this is oh Lord, fallen angel, no way. Jesus Christ. The Emperor aspect may be just focusing on, I don't know if it's, I want to say new options rather than like the old emotional memories, nostalgia that's coming with the Empress. The Emperor is like, I just want to just focus on, you know, building financially, seeing what else is out there, that type of thing. We have Sky Bridge, possibility for union. That was in reverse. And we have that with Fallen Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. Jeez Louise, these readings here is really trying to get to the nitty gritty, I see. When we have spiritual narcolepsy here with possibility for union, this was in reverse. The possibility for union is not going to come together if one or both parties are spiritually asleep. Okay? Skybridge is talking about possibility for union, going into different realms, ascending, that type of thing. With spiritual narcolepsy at the root of it, that is a very difficult position to come to a union on. Both parties need to be spiritually aware of what's the union about. Watchers again. Godly. Moving out of stagnation. Dust devil. Somebody's stagnant. Whoever's showing up in this Empress energy with all of this past memories, past emotional, I don't want to say baggage, but emotional either reactions or ways of showing up and this and that. that needs to move out of stagnation. Mini mask, empty well, time to replenish. That needs to get out of stagnation. I feel like this empty well, time to replenish, is related to this Empress energy. Maybe somebody who has a lot on their plate, who has a lot of different things that they have to show up for and to do. Maybe a little bit more feeling on the, you know, the drained, tired, needing to rest side. That person needs to go ahead and realize that, well, the Empress with empty well, this is interesting for this to show up for the Empress. With empty well, this is essentially saying that whoever's the Empress who is focused on the past life stuff, the six of Cups, they need to focus on replenishing themselves. If they are feeding into the past life aspect, it's a dead end. It's stagnant, it's old, it's dusted. First of all, with spiritual narcolepsy, one or both of y'all don't even remember what the hell happened. That's number one. Two, in the past or the past life or whatever. So, or you're not actively remembering it if it's within this lifetime. Trauma may have distorted the memories for you. So stop giving to that past. It's time to replenish and focus on the now and what's moving forward. Let's get some details here. Oh, Lordy. All right, what's going on? Clarify what's happening with this Emperor and Empress energy. What's going on here? Oh, wow. That's a 5 either way. See, the 5 of Cups or 5 of Pentacles. King of Fire. Okay, King of Wands here. Let's do 5 of Pentacles with that. Whatever's going on with the Emperor and Empress, this may just be you. This really might just be you. You want to know why? Because we got the King. We got the King of Wands. And we got the 5 of Pentacles for clarifying this Emperor and Empress. This really might be you, because the funny thing about the Empress is that she's supposed to be abundant. And for that earth, that yin energy to show up in this pair as in lack, this may be something that's going on internally. I think what's happening is that you want, or you are making the moves and you're acting towards building, growing financially, you know, growing new opportunities, seeking out new opportunities, seeing different ways you can collaborate with people, going after, you know, what is bringing you that emotional fulfillment, you know, pursuing different passions, maybe even weighing different options for, you know, different creative endeavors to pursue or to expound on or to build on or to further invest in with that 3 of Pentacles. You may have all of that in terms of your conscious action, but then you may have that deep subconscious, that yin part of you, that feminine, emotional, receptive part of you that's in lack. That's in this empty well position. That's in this position to where, you know, you're kind of, you know, living off of past memories of goodness and, you know, just trying to keep that to keep you going and being kind of satisfied and okay with those old memories as for happiness. And your yin energy is basically kind of not really being focused on. It's not, you're not really putting yourself in a position to receive. You're putting yourself into consistently be the initiator, but you're in you know, in regards to the physical, there is a lack happening here to where either you aren't, or you don't feel like you have the most the finances that you want, that you don't feel like you have the opportunities that you want, or that you don't have the level of stability that you truly want. You have this Nine of Pentacles here, meaning that you want to, oh, with the Hangman, child, you are reflecting and meditating and looking at different ways to get to this level of financial independence and prosperity. This really might just be you. This might just be you. I mean, it may show up in regards to a love interest or that dynamic to where, like, you know, one person is like, oh, super go get it, let's go, let's do this, and one person is in lack and not able to, you know, oh, I can't afford this, I can't do that, I don't have the resources, I don't have the this, I don't have the that to do it, or this and that. I'd rather just, you know, do the same old thing that I'm used to doing. That's what's gonna, you know, be okay. And for that's basically kind of, it's showing up in that relationship dynamic, so you both could see like where you, not to say lack balance, but where you both could learn from each other is the best way to put it. Especially in regards to moving out of stagnation. This is interesting. So then we have the World card and Judgment. Interesting. So with this cycle, there's going to be some sort of resolution happen here. Oh, Jesus, fire signs, this is a hell of a damn reading. There's going to be some level of resolution, either due to the changing of cycles, the changing of tides. Maybe things change overall for whether, like, maybe you enter into a season to where you don't have to worry about finances as much, or you enter into a busy season with the work that you do. So therefore, you know, you get a chance to finally and resolve like these feelings of lack and the struggles that you may have had with prosperity or something like that. That cycle that is teaching you about this dynamic that you're dealing with, either with others or internally, that cycle is coming to some level of resolution to either end certain stuff and start something else new, or to go about something differently. You may end up in a repeated cycle, but I don't, with this Judgment here, I feel like there's definitely going to be a deep transformation that happens that will get you out of this stagnant mode. Oh, Jesus. This is interesting. Oh, I'm done, y'all. I'm gonna have to wrap it up. It's getting late. I ain't gonna be done completely, but I'm gonna finish up this fire sign. But please believe, baby, it's definitely getting late. Okay. Jesus Christ, for fire signs. Let's see what the best course of action is for fire sign, moon, rising, and Venus signs. Best course of action. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. You got to get initiated, baby. Child. You can't refuse the call. You're about to get initiated. whatever this financial and this lack situation is, this is to teach you. This is a lesson. This financial situation, whatever it is, whether it's job related or whether it's like a team that you're trying to collaborate with, business partner wise, or a job, or whatever it is, your own independent thing. Where you are financially is definitely initiating you for something, and it's so that you don't refuse the calling. When the next times when you have opportunities coming up in the future to either act in your calling or to receive something that is allowing you to be more integrated, because that's another thing with the Emperor and Empress. It's not like the Lovers. That's not like a fully integrated sense of self. But when you have those opportunities to be fully integrated within yourself, to where your masculine and your feminine side are at full optimum performance, you're gonna know to act on it and to harness it and to keep up that energy after this initiation. Oh Lord, Garden of Venus, new beginnings. Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. It's definitely time for you for my fire signs, it's definitely time for you guys to do the things that's actually going to bring you some joy, child. For your best course of action. That's interesting. You have to follow your heart. You have to follow what is calling you. The things that are getting you inspired and feeling like, okay, I want to do this, or this is something that, would make me happy. You guys have to do that. You can't just be, you have to allow, your feminine aspect is the receiver. You can't just be in action and go. In order to have a full new beginning, you have to receive that new beginning. You can't just be creating it and creating it. Then therefore, when is the new beginning happening if all you're doing is doing? Oh, we have the Death card. Oh, death to the illusions, child. With that Seven of Swords, that's a powerful one. Especially because you guys did get like the Feast of Plenty, choices and consequences, and limited possibilities. It's time to kill the illusions. Those different doorways, or those different possibilities that are more so just illusions, things that need to die out. That Empress energy where you're just focused, where your feminine aspect is just focused on being happy with memories of the past, and being happy with the way things are because this is how you did it as a child. That needs to stop because it's an illusion. There's an empty well there. Oh, we got the King of Swords and the King of Wands, child. Okay. You might be collaborating, fire signs, with someone with significant air placements. Oh, Jesus. Is this just you though? Because we have, let's clarify this. Let's see.
Recording stopped.
Not again. Yeah, I swear y'all will never have, y'all won't have to worry about having no 3-hour-long video for me again. I promise you. Okay, I'm trying to figure out real quick, cause I'm about tired. I ain't gonna hold you. But I'm trying to figure out if this King of Wands and this King of Swords is really you guys. Because you might be overly showing up in your masculine form, and that is why your feminine form and your receiving, which is connected to your finances, is suffering. Hermit. 3 of Pentacles. Child. You really need to reflect, do some internal reflection on what it is that you're trying to build or who you're trying to build with. You could be partnering up with an air sign. You may not. That literally just may be you with your constant doing and your constant thinking and strategizing, trying to create a power couple, but that's not a divine counterpart. It's yin and yang. I'm not saying anything in terms of like, oh, two masculines can't make it happen. But you guys, even if you are, you know, gay, bisexual, anything like that, you still have to have that giving and receiving balance within a partnership. Within internally, you still have to have your feminine and your masculine balanced. Period. It can't just be all action, thinking, doing. It has to be feeling, being, receiving. You have to go into hermit mode and really reflect on how you're building and who you're building with. Six of Swords. Six of Pentacles reversed. Why is that reversed? It's like, okay, Six of Swords, it's like you're disappointed that you weren't able to share resources and share support. Listen, y'all, this is a lot. I'm sorry, this reading is a lot. And not to say I can't do it, but seriously, it's like 3 hours I'm going in on this, and a lot is being revealed. Horseman, how to change. Grace benefactor, grace and generosity. Hold on, change. We got that another 3. Have grace with yourself. Learn to be generous. I don't understand why there was disappointment around you. It's like you wanted to share something with someone or collaborate and share, but there was disappointment there. It was either rejected or it didn't move forward. Gather around. It's time for you to have a better sense of community. Seriously. It's time for you to really see, like, okay, who has my back and who's really there for me? Let's get one more card for the best course of action for my fire signs. And we're going to get some advice and we're going to step out. Vanishing mirror, ego sublimation, and heart home. It's time for y'all to come from the heart and not ego, dude. And do that. Seriously. Because this is some really the way these energies are showing up, it doesn't seem like the masculine and feminine is balanced at all in this situation with you guys, fire signs. It doesn't. Vanishing mirror, ego sublimation. Come on. All of this yang energy, all of this what you see energy, what's on the outside energy, that fire and that light. Let's get into that earth and that water, because the earth is really what you want, right? You're trying to build, you're trying to make new initiatives, you're trying to you know, follow your passions and da-da-da-da-da. Yes, but that takes feminine energy. That's a receptive energy. That is about you magnetizing and attracting that and being, you know, that nurturing aspect and being that garden of Venus, being that safe space for someone to go to restore and replenish, being that space for someone to go for renewal and you know, feel that sense of love. So you guys have to come from the heart space. You can't come from ego in that, especially with what you're trying to build. You're trying to build something fun. You're trying to build something using the earth elements, which is yin. You're trying to build something in the yin. You have to use yin principles. What's the advice for the fire signs? Gather around community again. Let me go to a different deck, child. Netcasters, preparations coming to fruition. You guys need to Learn how to use the specific bait for what you want, dude. You can't use a certain type of net and expect to catch every type of fish. It doesn't work like that. Certain things that you're trying to attract and bring in require a different level of process, a different level of finesse, a different level of preparation, a different level of being able to hold space. So, I'm sorry I'm getting like this. It's getting late, y'all, and I'm getting sleepy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like 3 hours? Child. Baby, I know better now. Okay. Let me get some advice for my fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. What is some advice for my fire signs? I'm sorry. $31. This is the totem. This is about belonging. We're talking about this power of community again, huh? We got the totem. And is this the otter? Ain't no way you got the otter for your advice. Oh, you sure did. Oh. Otter represents play and fun and unique sense of wonder and openness that comes with true play. A space where make-believe is real and all possibilities exist. As both a terrestrial and aquatic creature, otter is very shamanic and also connected to the mysterious moon, changeable and excitable. Just as laughter is the best medicine, water as well as play is connected with healing. And so is the spirit of otter. Otter comes apparently effortlessly from one state to another, a master of transformation, hence oftentimes healing. Mojo bags have been made from otter skin. The pumpkin is a symbol of rapid growth. So dive into the healing waters of play and exploration to find a new way of being. Changeability, adaptability, transformation, creativity, playfulness, curiosity, dynamic energy. February, the month of purification. Okay. And then we have 31. Can you do something for me? Okay. You have the totem, which is connected to belonging. A totem is similar to an emblem of our family or clan. It may be a simple pole carved with a mythical story of a people. A totem can also include plants and animals, and many can be used to tell a story, marking a specific event that is meaningful to a group or in some other way describe a collective identity. Sometimes they are revealed during rites of passage or initiation via a vision. Totems represent the powers and protections provided by being a part of a group, as well as the responsibilities and obligations of all members in that group. When you are uncertain of which action to take, look at your own totem, whether personal or shared. Acknowledge your core beliefs and act accordingly. Keywords: belonging, guidance, support, roots, family, the past, origins, safety, long-lasting commitment, 1 to 3 years. Child, that Empress may be you too, child. I don't know. I think this may show up in your relationships, but in all honesty, fire signs, I really do think this is y'all. Fire signs, for this reading, I'm just gonna close out with this. If there is a specific calling that you have that you are in an initiation process for currently, whether you are consciously aware of it or not, you are definitely trying to do and act and think about all the different ways for you to show up for that calling. And right now you're being called to actually be and sit and to feel what that calling truly is, and to really see what it would be like to have the tools and the resources actually come to you and be drawn to you. Right now, while you guys seem to have the intentions of building towards it and you know, taking the bull by the horns and really trying to ignite these passions and engage in these passions, the feminine side of you guys is begging to be replenished, to be renewed, to enjoy, to actually feel like you're making progress and that you're fully integrating this process of initiation that you're going through. The finances that you guys are in a way chasing, or the success or the accolades or the opportunities or whatever these endeavors are that you guys are pursuing and going after, they would be more drawn to you and fall into place more readily if your feminine aspect was open to receiving. Your feminine aspect right now is stuck in nostalgia and doing things in the way that you've always done them since a child, or whatever deep-seated childhood patterns that you guys have your feminine energy comfortable in. And that is resulting in feelings of lack, feelings of being burnt out, and that you need to be restored. So listen to me. You can not only use your fire and your air energy to get things done. If you want to get things done on the earth plane, you have to also utilize earth elements, which are yin elements as well. You have earth, which is a feminine sign that requires nurturing, support, being emotionally present, all of those different things. You have your water, which is the elixir of life. When you're on earth, when you want to, well, really any planet, you want to bring life, you work with the water, which is your emotional intelligence, your psychic gifts, your intuition, your compassion coming from that heart space. It's time to let the ego go, let go of this image or this perception of what your success and you building looks like. And it's time to go towards the actual essence of it, the feeling of it, the experiences of it that allow you to immerse yourself and to feel like, okay, this is what this step feels like. This is what this progress feels like. This is, this is the growth that I'm actually making, and I'm present in it, rather than trying to be on go or trying to think your way into a new position. So that is all I have for you. This has been a hell of a motherfucking ride. I'm here to tell you I will be cleaning off my hard drive because I have so many projects from so many different things on here, and now I have to record YouTube videos, so I have to have space. And currently, didn't know I didn't have it, although I suspected that might be a problem, but I hope you appreciated this reading, guys. This was definitely this is my first one. This is one for the books, child. The next time I do a 3-hour reading, hopefully it's for somebody's personal reading, and you guys are paying me because this is a lot. I really do hope that on a level, to at least some degree, this was resonating for a lot of you guys. I honestly I'm tired. Okay. So please like, share, subscribe, do all of the things. And I will be back for your new moon reading. That will be later in the month. So have plenty of time to catch up on this reading, see what resonates. Thank you for watching. Again, all of my information is going to be in the description box below. Shout out to my nail tech, MotherMage, Trader Truth. I need to tag her as well so y'all can know where y'all can get your nails done. But that is all, folks. You have a good full moon and a happy eclipse.
Recording stopped.